So I guess Barf, you'd probably arrive first. So you're working for a guy named Autark. He is a really good guy. He's trying to fix this old city of Nessus and try to bring it up to speed and try to make something of it once again. Um, he was at one point in time just a simple little fisherman type guy. He bought the land actually, and he's trying to do something with it, trying to get rid of the demons and the ghosts and rebuild the town. From everything you know of him, everything you've heard, he's a really good guy. You've probably done some odd jobs for him here and there that he's hired you for. He's always paid up, and everything's squared away. Gash and Star, you guys met with him quite a few times, plus he sent you on the last mission. From what you know, he's going to be sending aid to the little town there of Rottenwood Creek. So he's trying to help out what he can there after you guys ruined everything, basically.
No, I did my job. And then the apple looked tasty.
All right. I'm just going to go right across the bottom of my page. I'll have you guys introduce your characters a little bit so everybody can get familiar with each other, mainly so Barf can know who you guys are, and then we'll kick right off from where you guys are at. So, Gash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a middle-aged orc rogue, and unlike what many people think of rogues, I'm actually very thin and quite ugly. Not as good looking as some other orcs you may know. And I grew up as an urchin, lower class. Lower class, I guess, thief in the slums. Gonna work my way up.
All right. And Star?
Yeah, yeah, it's Starcross here. I'm not that old. I'm only 17, but I'm going to be very standoffish, and I'm very sorry. I really like holes. I like to go into holes in the earth and look around. And if you need something stolen, I can probably steal that for you. Good at that. And I'm pregnant. About that. I ate an apples. Probably shouldn't have. Yeah. So yeah, apparently I got maybe a demon baby in me. It's hopefully gonna be cool, but I think hopefully it doesn't eat me from the inside out either. So yeah.
Yeah. And Barf, a little bit about your character.
Okay, so I'm a young goblin, Barf Happy Snot. My name is just awesome. And I'm completely hairless from head to toe. And I'm quite cheerful. I'm quite thoughtless as well. I'm willing to give, but I'm also just trying to stay alive in this world. I used to be a henchman to a powerful wizard, but I had to run. I don't live. I left the home where I came from, and I keep cockroaches as pets. I've got a few of them. I can never remember their names. They always seem to have different names at different times, but. And sometimes I'll have two, sometimes I'll have three because they're constantly dying under my care. But that's not because of my mistreatment, but it's just because cockroaches don't live long. I'm a magician, but I don't share that too much due to the circumstances because I'm actually on the run from something. I'm running away from something because I'm wanted for something, but I'm not really going to share too much about what happened.
You're right. What are you guys at for insanity and corruption, if any?
Where is that? I've got corruption of 1.
Okay.
I have insanity of 1.
You have insanity
me as well.
All right. So corruption. Okay. All right. So Lord, or Autark has sent you guys to go check out the small little town of Echo Hill. it's maybe 400 people at most living in this town. It's pretty small. At one point in time, it was a major destination center. It runs right along an old canyon. Well, it's conveniently named Old Canyon, and it was the town. It was the only town that had a bridge to cross this canyon. So it was like a major highway per se. For everybody kind of from one side came and through this town to get to the other side, where there's a whole bunch of halfling trading posts and whatnot. Roughly 100 years ago, there was a new bridge built up along the coast, much bigger, much more fancy. It allowed for larger wagons, more caravans to fit through, and so that became the major destination. And when that happened, this little town of Echo Hill just kind of became an outpost, and it just slowly decayed over time. Most of the people have moved away. The people that are left there, have been there for generations of families. But beyond that, nobody new comes here, and all the families are just slowly starting to die off. They're majorly known for silken exports. There's a large textile industry there. There's a lot of seamstresses and sewers and different people who build clothing, caravan wagon parts, and different textiles. Let's see. They get most of their silk from a briarwood patch forest. There's not really knowing what goes on there, but the people of Echo Hill go out there, cultivate these silks from some sort of, they call the briar patch spider. It's supposed to be really deadly. They don't really give away their secrets of what they're doing, but they bring it all back and they hem up all this different silk and different canvas type material and then sell it. And that's basically the only import and export that the city or this little town has. It's the only place that the money comes from. A lot of the nobles will stop through here to get their wedding gowns and fancy ball dresses and stuff like that. The most popular one is called a cell seamstress and such. She's like the big person to go to for wedding gowns. Beyond that, she's really the only main person that's known in this town outside of the town itself. Lord Autark Urian has given you a couple different other people to check into. One is Mother Maiden, who's like the town's midwife. She does have a daughter, which he'll give you some information on in a moment, but she's, for the past 3 months or so, she's stopped being a midwife. She just stays in her house all the day. She's severely depressed because her daughter died. Her daughter is Nadia. And when Nadia was found, she was the first person found hung from the bridge. She has her neck snapped and she was thrown over the bridge. When this happened, the Mother Maiden became severely depressed. She stays in her cabin the whole time, and nobody really hears from her. Since this has happened, there's been 4 new bodies that have appeared on the bridge. All of them male, all of them castrated, and all of them have heavy bludgeoning damage on their skulls. I think that's about all the information that he was able to portray or get for you.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah, beyond that, the town doesn't really have any kind of, sheriff or guard. They just kind of do their own thing. There really never is any problems here. This is all of a sudden just cropped up and they're asking for help or somebody to figure out who's killing these people and what's going on. A lot of the people are starting to become afraid. They're hearing stories of ghosts in the canyons, and they're thinking there's banshees in the forest. They're thinking that the dead's waking up on Echo Hill because there's a cemetery off to the side of it. They've had some people kind of looking around, but everybody's really too scared to do anything. They're just simple peasant type folk. So Lord Autark has been looking around for some people, and you guys are the lucky souls that he's chosen to come check this out and see what's going on, and see if he can track down some sort of clue or figure out what's going on here.
All right. A general knowledge of this place. Do we have to? So we have to cross the bridge to get to Echo
No.
Hill?
Well, from where you guys are at, you're on the same side as the town. So, as you guys come in, it's going to be later afternoon, like 5-ish in the evening. When you guys get there, you can see the town up in the distance. It's kind of set in a valley, so there's 2 hills on either side, and then there's one larger hill to the west of it. That's Echo Hill. You can see a little graveyard off to the side. Looks like a pretty quaint little village, actually. All the cottages are very well taken care of. There's nice little gardens all the way around it. All the streets are cobblestone. They're kept up quite nice. You can see the bridge in the distance, going over top of this canyon. It looks fairly old. It's really excellent architecture, and the town does keep it up, but it's very old. You can definitely see where it's starting to wear out. They don't have the means to keep it up as properly as it should be. It looks nice, but you wouldn't trust a few more than 2 or 3 caravans going across it at one time.
So there were about 5 people who were murdered in this way.
So far, there's been 5 bodies. Yep.
Any information about who those people were?
He doesn't have anything yet. He's, just asked you guys, ask around town and start picking. All he knows is the first body was Nadia. And then after
Was the
that,
daughter.
Yep. And then after that, it was just 4 men. He didn't have their names or any information about them, though.
Was Nadia a cute little goblin?
No, she was a cute little human.
Okay.
So as you guys come into this little town, you can see that there's a little almost looks like a tavern of sorts up to the side, and you can see the sign swinging that says the Raging Hamster. Otherwise, there's just a bunch of little quaint houses that are out scattered. You can see further down, looks like a little bit of a market area, and you can see a couple different seamstress shops, a textile. There's one large building at the far end of the town that, towers over above all the rest, and it says Oryx Textiling across the front of it. As you get there, you can see most of the people in all the houses are kind of closed up for the evening. You can see people inside, like sitting down at dinner tables, getting ready to eat. Most of the shops are all closed down. Everybody's pretty much home at this point. You can see a couple guys, as you pass by the tavern, sitting at the bar, talking to the barkeep. But that's about it.
That's the Raging Hamster?
Yes.
Well, that sounds like an omen. I gotta go there.
Yeah.
We might be able to find some information.
We're gonna go rage into hamsters.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so I'd like to dust off my clothes, straighten up, and then suggest that we make our way into the Raging Hamster for a bit.
I look at Cash and I go, you're dusting yourself off for the Raging Hamster? And I point up to the side, like,
It has
really?
like a really ferocious hamster engraved into the wooden sign. Have big claws, big teeth. Looks like it smiles a little bit.
I ask.
Go ahead.
I ask. Do you think they allow pets?
I hope hamsters.
Okay. Well, if they allow hamsters, they've got to allow cockroaches. I think that should be fine.
Clearly, absolutely. What is the name of your cockroach?
Betty and Rad. Do you want to see them?
Please.
Okay, so I show him my jar of cockroaches, but there's only one. And I look a little shocked and say, "Oh, what happened? Where'd Rad go?" Oh, wow.
That's gnarly.
That's rad. Are you sure that's not Rad in there now?
No, that's Betty. That's
Uh-huh.
definitely Betty.
Okay. You and Betty go way back, huh?
Yeah, I think like about a month.
Oh,
She's
nice.
awesome.
Can they do any tricks?
No, but no, they don't do any tricks.
Yeah, they do one. Seems like I think they just fly away.
Yeah, I don't know how because I keep the stopper on really good. But there's booze in there, isn't there? We can have some booze and we can find out what happened to these people, who they were.
Hopefully somebody knows.
Either way, it's been a long journey. Let's get something to eat.
Yeah. I push the doors open. What do I see?
Turn my phone off.
I'm sorry.
As you enter the small little tavern, it looks pretty comfortable. You can smell like there's roasting meat in the back, and you can see that the guy up front talking to these 2 men is chopping up some potatoes on a cutting board and like throwing them into a stew pot. He looks up when when you guys come in and gives you a nod. The 2 guys at the table, you can see they're covered in dirt. Their hands are really calloused and thick. They're pretty well-built men. Both of them have like really muddy shoes on. You can see like a pile of dirt around the base of their feet. They both look in your direction. You can see that they probably had quite a few drinks already tonight, and they're a little sloshed to the wind. One smiles like a big toothless grin, and the other one kind of like smacks the other one on the back, and he's pointing at you guys. He's like, "Welcome to the Raging Hamster, boys. Let me buy you a drink."
Thanks, Gash. We'll take a drink. And I go over to them and sit next to them.
Yeah,
gonna go sit over there.
Oh, come on, my friend. You're a pretty young lady. You could go for a good ale.
I'm not going to turn down a free drink.
See? Follow your friends. The goblins and an orc, you have fine company.
Yeah, it's interesting.
How about some
Group.
peach mead? That's a girly drink for you.
And her eyes all get all googly, like peach mead.
Apple
Go-
martini.
Yeah, apple martinis.
Apple teeny. Yeah.
So the barkeep, pours you guys a drink, and he looks you over. He's like, "You must be from Lord Urian." He's like,
You are correct.
"Send a message. We got you a couple of rooms upstairs. There's supposed to be 4 of you. Do you know where the other one is?"
Nope. He never showed.
He's like, "Well, one of you gets a double bed then to yourself."
Can I have it? I need lots of space.
What? and then look down and what? And I look back at Gash and I look down and I just do it like 3 or 4 times and I just is he being serious?
Well, yeah.
All right. You stepped up and asked for it, so you can have it, little buddy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And I
Barkeep's-
look over at Gash and I do the hand the wrong side so you can see exactly what I'm saying. Go, it's kind of weird. Oh, sorry, it's kind of weird.
He's a little
Sorry.
strange. I say it in a normal voice.
Yeah.
The
Right.
barkeep sends over a couple of keys, gives you each a key to your room and points you up the stairs. He's like, "Everything's been squared away. The rooms are set. The beds are made. A couple mints on the pillow. You ladies and gentlemen should be quite comfortable for the evening. Care to have a meal?"
Definitely.
Yeah.
I ask him, can I have 2, please?
2. Quite the appetite you got, my friend.
Well, 1 for Betty.
You have a lady friend coming.
Well, no, and I take out my jar and show Betty. And I say, Betty needs some too. Can I have 2, please? I'm going to eat her leftovers, but she needs a little bit.
He reaches out to, take a hold of your jar so he can get a better look at it. Seems kind of impressed of it, actually. He's like, "Damn, largest one I've seen in a long time. Just keep it in the jar, got it?"
Okay, I can do that. And if you have any extra, let me know.
He's like, "Well, not here, but I'm sure if Betty gets out, we'll have more than enough around here."
Okay.
He sets down some plates for you guys. Looks like maybe some ham of some sort. Has a nice little glaze on it, side of potatoes and corn. Get you all set with your drinks and everything. And he's like, "So, what news do you bring from Lord Urian?"
Said
Well, we've heard about
investigate Nadia. Have you heard?
Yeah.
You know anything about that?
He's like, it's the thing around town lately. When you mentioned Nadia's name, one of the drunk guys kind of looks over to you, Gash. Are you sitting beside him or are you like further away? Can he
Yeah.
reach you?
He could definitely reach
All
me.
right. Yeah, he puts his arm around you and he's like, "She was a hottie young girl, my friend. You missed out on something good there." And you see the other guy kind of like smack him, trying to shut him up.
And then I ask, and there were 5 others too, weren't there?
The barkeep shakes his head. 4, well, 5 if you count Nadia. He says, "It's a damn shame, really. She was a good girl. Was going to get married in a day. Or was going to get married, and her fiance, I guess, never showed. She ended up being depressed from what the word is. And, if you ask me, I think she hung herself, but that's just my theory."
And who are the other 4 people?
He says, "Well, we had Garrick. He was a young lad who worked here for a while. Helped me with the cooking in the back. A hell of a chef. And then his buddy, I gotta get my thing. And he said his buddy Brode, and you look over, he kind of points to the wall, and you can see a guitar hanging next to a fireplace. A very well-made guitar. Made out of looks like some sort of fancy wood, has really excellent engravings on it. Golden strings are stretched across. He said, Bode was the musician here in town. Ugly as sin, ugliest man you ever seen. He kind of nods towards Gash. He's like, uglier than you too, even. He's like, but he was a good lad. He said, who was the 3rd one? And he kind of looks over to the drunk guys, and, the toothless one smiles. He's like, it was that Mr. Eckerd fellow. He's like, that's right. He says, Mr. Eckerd. He said, I don't know much about the guy. He was passing through to head over to the halfling villages. He's like, he took a room here one night, and next morning he was dead. He says, the fourth one, oh, that was Mr. Oric. He kind of thumbs his hand down the street. He's like, the owner for Oric Textiles. An old dwarf, lived here for a good 200 years at least.
And so it was all men, and I heard they got castrated too.
He nods, yeah, sick bastards.
And then a woman.
That would be Nadia.
And was she mutilated or anything too?
He's like, no, she had a snapped neck, but I imagine that would be from the fall. Otherwise, that was it.
What order did they go in?
I was like, well, Nadia was first, and that seemed to set everything off.
Okay.
Then it was Eric, Brode, Mr. Eckerd, and Oric. I'll type that into chat for you.
And so I guess Nadia, she has a mother.
He's like, adopted mother. Mother Maiden, actually, we call her. Hell, I don't even know what her real name is anymore. She's old as the dirt, apparently, but yeah, we just call her Ma.
And has she said anything?
It's like, nah, took it pretty hard when Nadia was killed or died or whatever the hell happened to her. She spends most of her time in the cottage. Every now and then, and he points across, and you can points at the house, across the street. And he's like, right over there. Every now and then, she'll come out and pick some flowers from her garden and go back in. If you go over, the whole place smells like iodine and jasmine. I don't know what she's got going on. We don't really see anything of her anymore. She's refused to help poor Betty.
And you said one person was passing through and stayed here?
He says, yep, stayed up in room number 3. That's where, that fellow over there, and he points at Gash. He'll be staying in her room, or his room.
And did he leave any belongings behind?
Just a small suitcase. Had about 100 coin in it, and that's about it. Pair of shoes. And he kind of puts his foot up to show you the shoes. Size 11, fit perfect.
I'm pretty sure that 100 coin fit perfectly in your chest too, didn't it?
Well, of course.
So, are there any authorities around here?
No, not really. We all just kind of take care of our own. He says, I guess if it was to pick anybody, I'd probably be the closest one would be me. He's like, I try to break up the fights when there is one, and people like to come talk to me and, work out their problems here in the tavern. But beyond that, we just kind of take care of ourselves and one another. Haven't had problems here ever since I was a kid. Nothing like this anyway. Couple fisticuffs, and you buy a drink for each other afterwards. That's about it.
Sounds like a good way to live.
It's like, well, we get some of the guards from up in Nessus now and then pass them through, and, if something really comes to fall, we call on Lord Urian to see what we can do, which, obviously you're here for, but like I said, that ain't happened since I was a kid, and I haven't seen any of you need for it.
So, about what time is it right now?
About 5:30 in the evening. It's considered summertime, so you still have like 3 hours of daylight.
How
Now, all these people lived in this town.
The one toothless drunk guy looks over. He's like, "No, boy." He says, well, Mr. Eckerd, he was passing through, and Garrick, well, he lived here, but he was from a town up north."
Did these men have any of them have wives? Because I heard that Nadia had taken it hard that her suitor had disappeared on her.
Yeah, she was in quite a depressed state. The toothless guy kind of looks over and he's like, I bet it was a cell. Her and Nadia didn't like each other, and like the other guy starts smacking him, telling him to shut up. The barkeep just kind of like slams his hand down. He's like, "You two, get on out of here." He's like, "Before you start more problems." He kind of like shoos the guys out the door. He turns back around. He's like, "The only one that had a wife was Oric. outside of town. 2 kids, a boy and a girl. You know, they've been together for a good. Well, I'm 32, and they've been together since I was a baby.
Wow, that's a long time.
He's like, you'll have to forgive those 2. That's Brandon Lackus, town drunks. He says, I don't know what the hell they do. They just come in here and drink all the time.
Why were they so dirty?
He's like, I don't know. Probably wallowing around in the filth. Who knows?
Yeah, I thought it was the smell that I smelled, and he grabbed me.
He's like, yeah, that'd be it.
And-
I don't tell you the truth. I don't even think they have a home. They just wander the village at night. Usually you can catch them in one of the back alleys or down by the canyon bridge drinking.
I don't want to catch him again.
So,
And she looks to her food plate and starts going to eat.
so can you tell us more about this person that Nadia was betrothed to, and the person who disappeared?
He says, well, I know the lad's name was Aiden, young man from up north, said to have noble blood. Ma didn't seem to like him very much, but, Nadia was quite smitten with him. Handsome young man. Hell of a drinker. Could drink me under the table any day.
Well, I'll come up and get some.
What kind of brew is this I'm drinking?
What's that?
Gash says out loud, what kind of brew is this that I'm drinking? It's really good.
A s'mores porter. But he says, yeah, Aiden, he was a handsome young lad. Like I said, he could drink me under the table any day. He was here the night before the wedding. He's, drinking, having hell of a bachelor party, and he left just fine. Next thing you know, he was gone.
So this person was some sort of nobility, but Lord Ortok never said anything about that person in particular.
Nope. He didn't give you any names about it, but the barkeep speaks up. He's like, I don't know what his last name was, unfortunately. He wore noble clothes, carried himself quite well, had plenty of money to spend.
And so, what kind of person was Nadia before she went over the bridge?
She was a good kid. Got into her normal childhood teen troubles, but she was a good kid. Very beautiful, had the eyes of many of the men around here. A lot of the women, they didn't really like her for the attention that she brought upon herself, but, she was good. She worked here for quite a while, helped do the dishes and helped cook out back with Garrick. A good friend of Bro's for quite a long time. So, she was in the trade of helping her mom with the midwifing and, helping babies and stuff like that.
How did she and Aiden meet?
Got me. He just showed up a couple weeks. This happened about 3 months ago. He was only here for a couple of weeks, just out of the blue, and next thing you know, they were getting married.
Man, they move fast.
It's like, well, Ma wasn't too happy about it, but, like she was telling me the one day, there ain't no life here anymore, and, he had a ticket to get Nadia out of here to have a better life, so
Yeah, maybe.
can't explain it.
Where would we find her mother?
He points across the house. You can see an old little cottage. It's really cute looking, little flowers around the out front of it, and it has a little baby type carving thing on the window. It has like Mother Maiden scrawled underneath of it. He's like, she's be right over there. I'm sure she's home, but I doubt she'll answer the door for you.
Is that your mother?
No. My mom passed away years ago. We just call her Ma.
Oh.
With the whole baby
Hey,
midwife thing.
Hey, Star, she might be able to help you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can help me, Herbert. I'm sorry. But thank you. And then
Go
look
ask.
away again. Hey, why? Okay, I just got it now, Barf. Why you need the extra space? It's for Maureen or whatever her name is. Your
For
little-
Betty?
Betty. That's the reason why.
Oh no, she just stays in my bag.
Then why you need so much room? A girl could have a big room then.
Well, I need the room, of course. Can't you tell?
Yes, you are massive, sir.
Yeah. Well, you'll see in the morning why I need the extra room.
Okay.
Ew.
Oh, that's gross.
No, it's well, maybe for you, but us goblins, I'm pretty sure this innkeep doesn't have isn't your typical inn with large beds for goblins.
Just
Why? What
nor-
happens to you?
just normal sized beds. Push them
Well,
together,
we,
and it's a really big bed.
Well, I'm kind of prone to sleep dancing.
Star's just like looking around, going, I don't get it.
I sleep dance and I might fall off the bed.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So, do any of you feel that we should go see the Ma for a visit after we eat, of course, and a couple drinks? Those guys, did they already pay for our drinks?
Ah, shit.
That was
No.
a fire drink.
I already
He's like,
drank them.
I'll catch up with them next time. They pay up eventually.
Okay. Can we have a tab too?
Says, I don't know. If you fail to pay, then I'm contacting Lord Urian, and he's paying up for you.
Oh, I'm sure he's good for it.
All right. You already paid for your rooms.
Okay.
Just put it on that tab.
So what do you guys think?
I'd like to go see this Mother Maiden.
Yeah, we can check out Ma.
And I just gulp down
After
the
we
rest of
eat.
my beer real quick. My
He's like,
porter.
you know, boys, I doubt she'll answer. It's like, you know, by this time she might even be in bed. I haven't seen her for a couple days now.
But who could resist a mug like this and a giant tusk coming up out of my mouth? Pretty grotesque.
Everybody, gosh, we've had this conversation already. Everybody. Sorry, buddy.
I say, well, you know what? If she doesn't come out to talk, I think I might be able to coax her out. I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve.
He's
You're
like,
gonna send Betty in after?
No, but I think I can get her to come out.
he says,
All right.
well, you know, hopefully, you know, if she's hungry, I'd be happy to fix her a plate and you could take over to her too. She's a good lady. You guys got to understand. She's just, you know, she's been in a pretty bad place for a while now.
All right. That sounds like a good gesture.
Yeah, he fixes up a plate for you and he's like, you know, I don't know if she'll take it, but at least you can leave it for her. I don't know if she's eating, you know. I've been trying to coax her out and get her to come over and eat for a couple days now. You know, if you guys think you can bring her out, you know, I assume you're not going to be rude or forceful, right?
No, definitely not. And we'll make sure she gets the food.
He's like, good. She's an old lady, very old.
Okay. So I finish eating both meals. I'm ready to go.
I don't know what to make of our new friend Barf yet, and I watch him eat all this food. He says he needs a really big bed. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, and I go, okay, I'm done. And there's like a third of my plate left, and I look over at Barf and I look away and kind of slide his way a little bit. And then just kind of walk out of the tavern. Oh, bye. As I walk away and kind of
Hamster.
I head out too, and I grab the food that's meant for the midwife,
Yeah.
for Ma.
Yeah, you can see that there's a couple candles like in each of her windows, like a little, just a decorative sort of thing that are flickering in each window. Every now and then you can see a shadow kind of move past one of the windows in the house.
So should we just knock on the door first?
Yeah, I think the goblin should go up and say hello.
What if we knock on the back door? Maybe she hasn't been answering because everybody knocks on the front door.
Not a terrible idea.
So, does her house have a back door?
It does.
Okay.
Actually, as you kind of come around, you come to like the little back alley. You can see that the back alley has a whole bunch of garbage and empty liquor bottles kind of strewn about. There's a large, like, looks like a wooden pallet that's been cropped up to the side, and it has some blankets thrown over top of it. There's a couple of cats like around trying to fight over like a piece of meat that's on the ground.
There's a piece of meat on the ground,
It looks like a piece of meat.
and there's some sort of bucket with a cover on it.
It looks like a little, like a lean-to, like a wooden pallet, and it has a blanket kind of thrown over, and it has some newspaper type material in there, and a couple pillows and blankets kind of tucked in, almost like a little homeless house type.
Yeah,
looking
the
thing.
homeless house. Yeah.
And this
In
is
the
right
back.
outside the tavern.
It's out in the back alley behind Ma's house.
Oh, I'm like, what did I miss?
All right, so there's nobody in the little lean-to.
No, it's empty right now.
Does it look like it's been used recently?
Probably. I mean, it's the stuff that's kind of under there, the blanket, the pillow, everything's kind of folded up kind of nice and tucked away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
Somebody
not like
plans to
it's
go to
not
the back.
directly behind her house either. It's down just a little ways in the alley, but
Oh, okay. But we had
I
to pass
see.
that to get to her house.
yeah.
I say, hello, Ma. Why are you sleeping outside?
She's not out there.
Okay.
Good. I think I'm gonna look at my two friends and go, how about I go knock on the door? I think at least imposing. And I'll be, I don't know, maybe not. And then I think about it, and I just look all shy, and I kind of go back and I say, "Hey, Barf, you're the one that looks like you know how to talk. You maybe you should do it."
So I had idly eaten all the food that was meant for her, because I have I give promises wholeheartedly, but then forget about them. And so I say okay, and I walk up to the door with an empty bowl, and knock on the door, and I say, "Hey, Ma, we got some food for you." And then I look down and go, "Ah, crap!" After knocking on the door.
Really, Barf?
Oh, you ate all the food.
You ate the food?
Well, I was hungry. Why? It was for me, wasn't it?
Just ate.
So you can see like the window curtain kind of slide to the left a little bit, and you see an older lady kind of peer out at you, and then she shuts the curtain. You can hear her moving around in there, and then it's just silent again. She looked like she was pretty old, probably like, in her 70s, 80s. Way too old to have a young daughter as an actual daughter, so. Nadi was
Maybe
How
I should
17.
give her this piece of meat.
And she doesn't open the door.
Nope.
I know you're in there.
Yeah, I don't think that's working, Barf.
I
I've got
reached
food
down
for you.
To, reach down to pick up the
No.
meat, and
No, I don't.
doesn't look.
No,
it doesn't
I
look
got this, guys. Don't worry.
good.
We've got food for you.
Yeah, you just kind of hear silence, then you can hear like a footsteps on the other side of the door for a moment, and you hear the handle. Sounds like she's hitting locks or putting chains up on the door, and then you hear the footsteps walk away. She peers out the window for a brief second again, and like closes the curtains to all the windows.
So she locked the door when it was unlocked before.
Yeah.
Like put more locks on it.
Yep. You can hear like the chains rattling.
Wonderful. Good job, Barf.
I'm going to. I say, well, hang on a second. We can't give it up. We can't give up here. And I'm going to use one of my spells. I'm going to cast Clamor. Target point emits sound. You can choose for the duration. I have no clue who this girl sounds like, but it's the voice of a young lady,
Okay.
human lady, that says, "Ma, are you in there?"
You see her kind of peek out the door again. She eyes you for quite a few seconds, and she moves away. You can hear the footsteps on the other side of the door, and the door opens, and it only opens up a little bit before the chain on the inside catches. And she looks out, and she's like, "Who are you?"
I say, we've got some food for you and a friend, somebody you know. And then it says, Ma, let me in.
She says,
Eh.
I have plenty of food already. Who wants to see me? I don't do this anymore. I'm retired.
And then I say, well, it's Nadia. You should see Nadia. She's here. And then she says, yes, Ma, I'm here. Let me in.
You see her eyes kind of open up in more of a horse. She says, no. And she like slams the door.
And in this excitement, I bend down and pick up what the cats are fighting over, and it isn't a piece of meat. It is what was missing from one of the gentlemen, I assume.
Ooh.
And I kind of just...
That's gross.
And there's cats jumping up. Trying...
I say, why'd you throw that out? That's good eating.
So, oh my.
Well, it's from a donkey, right? Or at least, wait, no, that's not. That's way too small to be a donkey. Okay, never mind.
Not such good.
I think it's from one of the guys. Wait.
I'm a little buzzed, and so I thought it'd be funny, and I toss it over to Barf as I'm laughing.
I catch it, and I say, you know what? This is a man's penis.
What?
What's this doing here? And what's under that? What's in that lean-to? And I point to the lean-to.
Oh no. Do you think? No, it can't be one of the guys' penises.
Well,
Is it a tent full of
penises don't
penises?
just show up out of nowhere. I look for a long stick because I'm a little bit creeped out. I want to have a look at what's in this lean-to. You said there's like a cloth cover on it?
Yeah.
Wait, you're holding the penis, but you're creeped out by the lean-to.
Priorities.
Yeah, but there might be like
Hands dirty.
there might be like more penises.
Yeah, there's plenty of sticks and odds and ends, trash
Okay.
and bars and stuff like that around.
So I'm gonna grab a stick, and I'm gonna like lift up the cover that's on this lean-to, expecting that I'm gonna see like a whole bag of dicks.
No. You see like a nice little pillow set up on a blanket. It's empty beside. There's like a little jar full of coins. It looks like little copper bits, and then there's another little jar that has like half full of liquor or a liquor bottle. And that's it.
Ooh.
So it looks like somebody's been staying out here.
Yeah.
I would like to pick up the jar that has... Is it a jar of money?
There's 7 copper bits in it, or 7 copper pieces, whatever they're called, shillings.
No.
Put that down there.
Yeah, it doesn't belong to us. We shouldn't take that.
I drop it.
Okay. And what I toss the penis in there too.
You can see there's a lot of dirt and mud around as well.
Any footprints?
Muddy ones, pretty good sized. Men's probably.
I'm just thinking, whoever this is, they're going to come back to their little tent, and there's going to... What the hell?
Somebody got busy.
Welcome home.
No better coming home to than a penis.
Star,
So-
as you're looking around, every now and then you'll see this lady kind of like peering out the window at you guys, and then she hurries up and shuts the blinds. And every now and then she'll kind of open up just enough to get a look and see if you're still there. Like she's waiting for you to leave or watching you carefully.
I turn around and say, "Come on, we're not going to go away. Why don't you just open the door?"
Yeah, she just hurries up and like shuts it. You can hear like the feet padding, and that's quiet again.
Oh, that didn't work?
There is, when she opened the door, you had that brief smell of jasmine and iodine as well. A really strong, powerful smell. Even in this back alley, it seems to like surround the house.
I
Guys,
think I would like
we
to,
might have a serial killer in here. I say this quieter so that she can't hear us.
Yeah. Not only that, but what if? Did she save her daughter?
Did she
Maybe, maybe her daughter's in there.
Was the body found?
Yeah, where's not? Like we should have.
Yeah, the barkeeper I told you, the body was, pulled up the next day when it was found. They did
Oh.
have a funeral for her, and she's buried up at the
But maybe
cemetery.
she kept. Maybe. So maybe she's kept that body. Why would she need so much iodine?
Oh yeah.
Her door, does it look like
slowly
there?
starts to click in my brain.
Does her door look like there, or her windows look like they have any like locks that can be opened from the outside?
The windows, they don't look like they have any locks on them really. Just like simple little latch, but anything small that you could stick in there to flip the latch would be easy. The back door, she didn't open the back door. She opened the front one for you before, so.
Do you think you guys can give me a boost? I'm little. I might be able to sneak in there.
I'm gonna say this here, Barf. How about we give me a minute here, okay? Give me a minute. And I go up and I knock on the door and I go, Ma, and I knock on the door, Ma.
You see the door open just a little bit, and it catches by the chain again. She stares out, and she's like, "I'm not a midwife anymore."
But I am with child. And I just have a question or two.
It's like,
Could
what
we
is
come
it?
in? We also. May we come in, ma'am?
It says, "I don't allow men in my house, but you can come in."
And I look back at the guys. I look back at her and I go, I don't like these guys anyways.
What?
And I go, yeah, we can do that. And I look back at the guys and I go, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh.
She
Well,
she kind of looks at the other two and the guys behind her, and then she's like, "What is it you want?" I'm not a midwife anymore. I can't help you with child.
well, now I understand that, and I didn't come of this child naturally, ma'am.
What do you mean?
Well, Gash was there. I ate an
I
apple
was
and
not involved.
no, it's not. No. And I look and I go, no. She just so yes. And we fought this demon thing and killed it, and then I ate an apple, and then I was told I have a child.
It happened just like that.
You see her huff and puff, and she's like, really thinking it for a few moments. She's like, "Fine, you can have a cup of tea. Ask me a few questions, but then you got to leave."
I give the bowl and say, "You got
I love
to give her
tea.
this."
Can my friends please come in, ma'am?
Men don't come into my house.
Oh, I'm
Well,
not a
I'm an
man.
Close enough.
He's about the size of a toddler. You're not gonna let him in?
Says
I seem very offended. I was just called a man.
no. You can come in,
All
young
right.
lady. Those two will have to wait outside.
Okay. And I go,
Yeah, she closes the door, and
Let
you can
me-
hear like all the latches going, and then she opens it.
all right, hey guys. All right, and I look at the guys and go, is there anything I need to ask her?
Why was there a dick in the alley?
I don't know. I don't think we should ask her that.
You should totally ask her.
Okay, you ask her about the dick. Whose dick was that in the alley, ma'am? No, it's now in the lean-to. No, anyway.
And who lives in the lean-to? Ask her that too.
Yeah. Let's go about the lean-to, and then
Ask her about some of the people if she knew anybody who went missing.
okay. And
Says, young lady,
is
are
your
you coming
daughter-
in or not?
Yes, I am.
Remember
yeah,
the dick. Don't forget the dick.
Yeah, I won't forget. So I walk up to the door and I look back and I go, I shake my head as I walk in and I go, so yeah, it really was almost as simple as that, ma'am. As we're walking in, um, I didn't believe it at first, but I kind of believe it now. I've had some weird dreams and such.
Says, that's a sign, young lady. She kind of motions you for a chair. Tells you to sit down. You can see she like opens a drawer and she's like pulling different, instruments. She sets like a weird, looks like a circular thing with a bunch of tubes coming from it on the table, and then a couple like scalpels and some other odds and end tools on the table, scissors and clamps and stuff. Finally, she gets another one. It looks like a tiny little piece of metal that's a circle, and it has like a dome at the bottom of it. And then just an earpiece that comes up, and she kind of sticks it in her ear, and like she's like pressing it to your stomach and listening. She says, "Well, I don't hear much, but it might be too early yet, young lady."
It was last week.
She says, "Oh, well, you're probably not even pregnant then. It's just a waste of my time."
Oh, it was. They were very convincing.
They?
It was a whole. Yeah, in Rottenwood.
She's
You ever
like-
heard of
she
Rottenwood?
says, "No, I've never heard of it."
Yeah, it was some ritual or something, and we went there to go help and kill this she-bitch thing they called it or something. I don't know. But we killed it, and then the apple fell, and I picked it up and I ate it, and I was not supposed to, I don't think, because they wanted some other girl to eat it, but I ate it, and now they said that every time that the person has a baby thing or something. I don't know. I don't have a lot of information.
It's like, well, I don't know how much to help you there. What's your name, young girl?
Well, what's your name, ma'am?
She says, "You can call me Ma."
Oh, okay. My name is Star.
She's like, "Well, it's nice to meet you. Pretty young lady like yourself. You look too young to be traveling these roads. Are those your suitors out there?"
And she giggles. She's like, no, those are my I work for
Your henchmen?
my coworkers, I guess.
She's like, "Are you here for the murders?"
Yes, that's what
She's like, "I thought
you know.
so. I seen you visit in the
we really want to
tavern."
help.
She's like, "Well,"
Well, we really want to help.
she's like, "I don't think there's any help for this town anymore. It's a shithole anymore."
Well, no, Star, but you know, what was with Nadia and this man? It seems very strange.
She said, "I had high hopes for Nadia." And she kind of takes a seat. You can see like her face kind of goes slack, and the depression just wash over her. Says, "As far as I'm concerned, he was a piece of shit." She said, "He was just a scum. Stood her up on her wedding day. That's why she probably committed suicide."
Oh. Do you know what happened to him? Have you heard from his side of the family or anything?
Says,
Or
I
I know
never
you didn't like him or such.
I never met his family. He was from up north somewhere. These old bones don't get out much anymore. Said he was a suitor from up north, and I looked around for him for a few days afterwards. Give him a piece of my mind, I would have, but he was gone. Nothing left to be found. It was like he disappeared without a trace.
Okay.
My guess is he probably just found a better young lady and took off over the night. Said he was here the night before. Nadia was here doing her hair, her makeup, getting her ready, fitting the dress. Next day, he never showed.
In front of the whole town.
Yep, and I think that's what devastated her the most.
I can imagine. Why does it smell like iodine so much in here?
Just the cleaning materials from when I was, practicing my trades, and helping out. I dumped a gallon of it on the floor, shattered a few days ago. I've been working to try and get that smell out of here. Been using the incense and the jasmine flowers out front. Just haven't got it rid of yet.
Yeah. Well, it's almost working.
It's like, oh, don't flatter me.
Well,
She's like, well, I wish I could give you more information, Star, but unfortunately I can't. No, I got to get to bed. These old bones don't quite work like they used to, and to be quite honest, young lady, I'm just weary these days.
I can understand your pain, and I really hope that we can find something that will give you an end to all of this tragedy. We're very sorry for you.
Says, no, you don't have to worry about it. I'm sure this will all blow over in no time. You can, you shouldn't be out here trying to track down evil like this anyway in your state.
Oh, well, actually, I really quite like evil. And she smiles a bit. And okay, well, you have a nice evening. If we do find a reason to maybe have to ask you any more questions about the murders, would you mind talking to me again, possibly?
Says, well, maybe, but, I really think you should just let it go. I'm sure this will all blow over. You shouldn't bother yourself. And she kind of helps you up from the chair and starts leading you towards the front door.
Okay. Well, Ma, it was lovely talking with you. And as we get to the door and open it, the guy's standing right outside.
Yep, I'm making an effort to try to figure out these tracks.
I'm outside and I'm too short to look through the windows. I've been trying to pile something in front of the window to stand on, but I've been failing miserably at it.
Yeah, she opens the door enough for you to fit through, and she gives Barf and Gash a pretty nasty look when she sees them out front there. She's like, oh, wait a minute, Star. And she gathers up a little satchel of herbs and stuff. She says, here, it's tea that'll help if you indeed are with a child. And this will help with the morning sickness.
I interrupt and say, did you ask her about the dick?
Oh, yeah, I didn't. We found a penis. Apparently, it looked like a penis. It really did. A male penis. And it's... And who lives in that lean-to thing over there?
I walk over to the shack and grab the penis out of the bin and say, this penis, and hold it up.
She gives you a really disgusted sort of look, and she just shakes her head. She's like, I don't know who's staying there. Probably one of those homeless drunkards. And she slams the door.
I knew that wasn't going to work. That's why I didn't ask. But hey, it's a funny way to end it. But you. What do you, she doesn't have much, guys. About the same stuff. It's nothing. She truly didn't like that boyfriend. Whew.
Maybe the boyfriend is. So what did you see when you were inside there?
There wasn't much to see. It was, looked like an old lady's home. She didn't have much.
Yeah, there was really nothing out of the ordinary. Just a simple little kitchen that you were in. She had her midwifing tools and stuff there that she was taking out, but beyond those, looked like a little old lady's home for the most part. I mean, he didn't go off to the side rooms or nothing, but
right, it was unremarkable.
So what did she say about who lives in the lean-to?
She didn't know. She said probably there's a whole bunch of homeless people here in this town at the end. Probably one of the drunkards or something. Maybe it's one of those guys. Maybe it's one of those guys' penises.
Maybe we should do a stakeout or whatever it's called.
Maybe
and,
you should sleep
watch
in
the
that
shack. Well, no, I think we should watch the shack and see who sleeps in there tonight. Because we found the penis back there. She says she doesn't know who it belongs to. Whoever's sleeping back there might know where the penis came from.
I think she's a liar.
I also think that, but I think that maybe we should see if one of our rooms can see that shack. Because our rooms are on the second floor recently, right?
But do our rooms? Can we see the alley?
from where your rooms are, Yeah, you would have a pretty decent view of it. It's up on the second story of the tavern, which is just across the street. So,
Is it close enough that we could make out a face?
eh, you'd probably get a perception check for you to do it, but I mean, you'd have a pretty decent chance. I'd probably give you an extra boon on there since you'd be up higher and have a good view of it. So, a good chance, yeah.
All right. I start making the way back to the raging hamster. Really? And I just walk in and talk to the bartender and be like, that old lady, she's kind of a she's kind of a grump.
He nods. He's like, well, can you blame her, Gash?
And I walk by and put my hand around Gash and I go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. She's lovely. But
He's like, were you able
Can
to
I
talk
have-
to her? Did she come up?
yeah, she spoke to me a bit.
He's like, good. He gave
No,
he
I,
gave her the
I
food,
actually,
right?
I was able to go in. Yeah, about that food. You should talk to the barf over here about that. And I do my little finger like in a like about that because he was holding it and then it wasn't there anymore. That's all
Well,
I
yeah,
know.
I ate it.
What are you supposed to do with food? The bar kind of shakes his head and he's, damn goblins anyway. He's like, I'll take her a plate over and set it out front like I have been the past few nights. Hopefully she'll eat it.
She said she's been cooking her own food, so I don't think you much have to do that.
She look like she's eating then.
It looks like an old lady.
He's nods. Well, hopefully, I hope she's doing all right. Can't imagine being in her shoes.
Yeah, she wasn't wearing any shoes. But the thing is this: I think that she knows more about that young man than she's letting on.
Especially because we found a dick in the back.
He kind of spins around
there's all that thing.
and glares at Barb. He's like, what?
I hold it up.
He's like, no, get that thing out of here.
You brought it with you.
Yeah, he's just kind of like moving towards you, trying to usher you out the door with it.
This.
I go outside with
bring
it.
it in here? It's the greatest moment I've ever had in any game. I'm just sorry.
All right.
So I'm outside now.
I'm at the bar still drinking.
All right.
And I rush outside and I say, hey, go put it back in that lean-to.
Okay.
Oh,
Keep an eye on that weenie.
I head back over to the house, and I put it back in the lean-to, and then I continue with the makeshift. I want to watch her, so I'm actually in the back alley,
Okay.
looking in one of the windows, watching the old lady, seeing what she does while they're inside the bar.
All right. You see her. She's like sitting at the table. She has a couple of candles spread out on the table, and she looks like she's working with some sort of like a pot of some sort of liquid or something. She's like putting different herbs and spices into it. And then you see her walk over to the center and she pours it all into a little center bowl. And she's like trying to breathe in and wafting the smoke towards her face and like breathing in the smoke. And then she just kind of takes a seat and she just kind of stares like she's in a daze or something, just stares off.
Oh, so she's a drug addict.
That explains so much.
Let me look at your sheet real quick. What are your knowledges or professions? Criminal forger, academic.
Professions: criminal forger, and I have academic nature.
All right. Give me a intellect for your academic nature. Give yourself an extra boon on that too.
Okay.
I should have all the rolls figured right into your sheet. It'll just ask you
Okay.
what to put in.
Pardon me. An academic so that's which check?
It's gonna be your intellect intellect.
Okay. With 1 boon?
Yep.
What happened? Okay, I put 1. Submit. Oh, there we go.
Oh shoot.
3. All right.
A whopping 7.
So it looks, she looks like she's doing something more with nature and stuff, but you don't recognize any of the stuff that she's putting into this or what exactly she's doing.
She's definitely a drug addict.
Okay. I get bored with watching her, and I head back to the tavern. And I head inside and just sit down at a table. Actually, when I look inside, I check if Gash and Star are already sitting at a table.
I'm sitting at the bar.
Okay, I sit down with them and say, she was drinking some sort of weird potion. I think she's a drug addict. Well, she wasn't drinking it, she was breathing it in.
That's weird.
Strange lady.
Actually, you can re-roll that, Barf. I think it went as a boon on you instead of a bane, because it subtracted your...
Oh, I did?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why it's a...
Well. I'll just go.
So,
12.
there you go. All right, you can see the different herbs and stuff that she's putting in this bowl, and it seems like a thicker liquid of some sort. I can't quite tell what the liquid is, but you do recognize there's some sort of ritual that she's doing, some sort of nature-based ritual.
Oh, nature-based ritual. Like magical ritual?
Perhaps. She doesn't look like it's anything magical that she's doing, and you don't see her using anything actually arcane, but she is following through some sort of cultist sort of ritual.
Oh. And I think she's a drug addict, and I think she's a little bit wacky, doing some sort of ritual. I don't quite understand what she's doing, but I think she thinks it's going to do something superstitious.
I think she killed the sun.
Wow.
I'll be right back, guys.
I'm being honest. I feel like I'm in Clue, and I think she did it in her house with the iodine.
Trying to.
I wonder if she's...
Metagaming, I know she had to do something, but I don't know. Gash's pretty stupid.
I wonder if she's possessed.
Is that something we'd have a knowledge of?
I can find out pretty quick. I've got some magic that can do that.
Because I don't know if that's something I would be aware of.
I would definitely be aware of things to do with demons and other forbidden things.
All right.
And I would believe you because I have no idea. And I supposedly have a demon, maybe.
I think I resigned to drink at the bar unless otherwise.
But I'd have to talk to her. I'd have to talk to her, and then I can. I've got some magic that I might be able to convince her. If she is possessed, I might be able to. If it's a demon that's possessing her, I might be able to get that demon to talk to us.
Well, she doesn't like you.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem. She seems to only like ladies, even though I'm like such a dastardly handsome person. Maybe she doesn't like bald goblins. I don't know.
You could send Betty in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's it's a bit of a stretch thinking she might be possessed, but
I don't think she's possessed. I think she's just old and depressed, and she lost her person who was her daughter. That probably is not her daughter because she's too old to have a daughter.
hey, she gave you some herbs, didn't she?
Why, you
Yes.
want to smoke it?
No, because she was doing something with the herbs and breathing in the vapors.
Maybe I should drink this. Maybe we can both go on the same trip.
I don't know. Now that I have these herbs in close sight, can I try to deduce what they are?
Yeah.
seeming as though I had an academic nature.
Yep, definitely.
Let's figure out what those herbs are.
I mean, you got them
so
right there.
what
You
would
can
I-
manipulate them. Give yourself an extra boon for that too. 'Cause you have them
Well,
right there.
if because like I guess if I have like a reasonable amount of time, I kind of don't have to roll.
Okay, yeah.
Do I?
As long as you guys
Yeah.
ain't doing nothing else, yeah, you can. Takes you a little while,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we don't have any
Do,
time.
do you guys mind if I spend some time looking at these and figuring out what they are? I think I have to check
I
a
have
couple.
no problems at all.
It's going to take me a bit of time to remember.
I like this peach mead.
So I go up to my big room and sit at the big desk, and
You must be standing on a chair because
Yep. And I try to figure out what this is.
most of it is just different like tea leaves and like peony flowers and some poppy seeds and stuff. There's a few in there. There's some clover and other odds and ends. A lot of them are just for teas, but you see a few odds and end ones that, if she was presumably using in her thing, they're different herbs that are often used in things like seances, and gypsies often use them when they try to contact the dead.
Yeah.
I mean, Barf would know that most of the time the gypsies and the mediums are really just full of shit, but that's the stuff that they say they use and what's supposed to work if you know how to do it correctly.
So
I already ate a crappy apple. I might as well eat it.
So I head downstairs and say, I think she's trying to communicate with the dead.
Or maybe she's trying to communicate with my baby.
I don't think your baby's dead, but she's trying to communicate with the dead. Or maybe, do I think that there's any risk? Like, would I know whether there's like harmful risk of somebody using these herbs?
Untrained and stuff, most certainly.
Okay. Do I know how to properly use them?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I think what we got to do is boil some water, and then you breathe some of this in. But don't do too much at once. Give it about like maybe 30 minutes before you do it again, because you might end up doing too much at once. Got to be careful.
She looks at you and goes, "It sounds like drugs."
Well, let's see. Gypsies and them, they think they can communicate with the dead with it, but I'm pretty sure they just get high off of it. But you never know. Maybe it might do something. We might be able to talk the Nadia.
Okay, let's try it.
Are you messing with it, Star? Is that who's?
Absolutely.
Of course you are.
I'm a pretty reckless girl, so
It's not like you have a baby to worry about.
Of course.
maybe I
Doctor's
can
order.
even talk to
Doctor
my,
says it's fine.
maybe I can talk to my baby. I don't know. I'm all excited. So
Give me a will roll with one bane. What are your
one bang.
Yeah. Yeah, your professions don't help you on that. Insanity is
Here, Art Vistani. Does that help me at all?
the what?
Trying to make a joke. I said it. I'm part Vistani. Does that help at all?
Oh, lovely.
Minus
Look
one.
at that.
So
Wow.
as you kind of like breathe in these fumes and you get everything all set up and you're smelling these stuff, your mind is just like affronted with all sorts of weird, strange visions and horrific sort of creatures and views. You have that just overwhelming sense of dread and fear kind of overcomes you. Give yourself one insanity. And what is it that she sees that, really makes this effect?
Star?
You're muted.
That was a question to me.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what would really scare the shit out of her?
Other than a demon baby growing inside of her.
No, yeah, that's what it is. She has the fear that whatever is happening here, that the child's gonna eat her way out of her. that it tries to consume her from the inside out.
So yeah, when you breathe these fumes in and you kind of look around, you can see like a hand crawling its way out of your stomach and like this weird demonic sort of face like chewing through your flesh. It kind of fades away after a few
Cool.
moments, but
And she kind of does that like head kind of spin around thing and kind of looks back and looks. First person she sees is the goblin. She looks at Barf and goes, I feel like your name.
I'm good. I'm good.
Don't you should Barf, you should try this.
Barf decides to join in and try it.
I want to try it too.
Yeah, because I thought that my baby was crawling out of my body. Was I freaking out there? Because I don't know. Was I freaking out there at all, or was it what happened there when I was? So I all I know is I took the hit, and then it was like there, and then I could like see the. I told you about the gash that I thought that this baby's gonna eat its way out of me. And it's
true. You've said that.
You just kind of whimpered a little bit. You whimpered, and I think it was about like maybe for about a half an hour.
Wow.
If you guys want to do it, I'll need a will check with one Bane, but Barf, you would actually be canceled out because you get a bonus from your corruption. So
Okay.
that's canceled. I don't see anything on your sheet, Gash, that would give you any sort of Bane or boon.
So the way this thing works is I click number of boons. Oh, it asked me. It asked me twice.
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
one, no boon. Okay, so no boon, no
Yeah.
banes.
Right. So that's straight
All
up.
right, Gash, what does Gash
Wow.
see that just absolutely horrifies? You get one insanity as well, but what do you see that, what is his deepest fear that he sees?
That we return back to the slums and become nobody, laying in the dirt, like that lean-to with the penis in it.
All right, so you're just like laying in a lean-to surrounded by other people's dicks and like your body's
Yeah.
kind of half mutilated
In the slums.
in the slums.
In the dirt.
Let's see.
peed on.
Barf, you got a 20. Nice. All right. When you can breathe these things in, you just kind of get that nice calming sense of relaxation. You're kind of surrounded by rainbows and butterflies. You're hallucinating all sorts of good things, but it's like everything that Barf likes. Little cockroaches are crawling around, a couple 6 plates of food, and 3 king-size beds.
Okay, and so do I see? Is that all I see? I'm just like having a good high experience.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I guess when I come to, I say that's some good shit. How much do we have left?
It's what? Really? You got a good one?
Yeah, it was good. Maybe it's like goblin blood or something like that.
I look
Maybe
over at Gash.
part goblin.
Hey, Gash, how was yours, buddy?
Never again. Never
Yeah,
again.
me too. Yeah, if you want to try it again, Barf, go ahead. Is there any left for him to try it again? I'm good.
Yeah, Barf tries it again because if he had a good experience, he's definitely going to do it again.
Sure, if you want
That's how
to.
Barf became hooked
Okay.
on the weed.
He's hooked on the whatever this crap is.
And he fails.
He
Fails.
badly.
All right. 1 insanity.
Okay, 1 insanity.
And what does Barf fear the most?
That the room is full of cockroaches and they're all speaking to him, and it sounds like it's the voice of the demon lord that's telling him that is telling him how to kill people around him and do horrible things, and he just wants to shut it out, but that's all he can hear.
Okay. From like the corner of your eye, you can see like it looks like a woman's form. She has a wedding dress on and a veil that's hanging down over her face. You're not quite able to see her face or anything, and it's only like a split second in the corner of your eye. When you look in that way, it's gone, and that's when you're confronted by all these talking cockroaches and everything.
So I saw somebody.
For a brief second.
Huh.
Hmm.
Could I It was like a female face?
You couldn't see the face. I mean, I presume it was probably a female form, and it was wearing a female's wedding dress.
Oh, okay. It was like in the kind of like peripheral vision?
Yeah.
As I come to, I say, guys, did you see the bride? God, that was horrible. Oh my God, but did you see the bride?
No, you didn't get a good one this time? Good.
No, and I'm never doing that again. That was horrible.
I
You
told
guys
you.
didn't like it. But you didn't see the bride.
What?
No bride.
No bride.
Because the bride wasn't horrible, but everything else was.
What?
But I saw a bride.
Where?
I don't know. It was off to the side. So nobody saw the bride.
No.
So that's...
I didn't see the bride at all.
So Barf just thinks he's crazy.
I know Barb's crazy. um, so, wait. Did the bride look like Nadia? Have we ever even seen what Nadia even looked like? Was there any pictures of her or anything?
I couldn't see what she looked like. Who?
You did
Oh,
see
okay.
a star in their Ma's house. There was quite a
Uh-huh.
few different pictures of a younger girl. She had like brilliant red hair, real young, beautiful looking.
Yeah, right. I remember that
You
picture.
did see a nice scar that kind of ran down her cheek. It's probably maybe like 2 or 3 inches on her left side. Yeah, left side. It didn't look like, it wasn't like a big cut or anything. It was just a real slight scar type.
So I asked Star, can you describe Nadia to me? I didn't get a good view of who was wearing the wedding dress, but...
Well, I mean, she was red-haired. She was definitely very pretty. She had a scar on her face on the left side. It wasn't very big, not like really prominent either. Like I had to look for a second, and I was staring at it at one point. And then she asked me a question. I don't know what she asked me, but she was very pretty. It couldn't have been her child. There's no way. I think it's one of those. They called her mom, or maybe she got dropped off there, or who knows? You know what I mean? But it couldn't have been. It's just that's an old woman, and Nadia couldn't be more than what, less than 20.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize who Star's describing?
Nope, you didn't see any distinguishing marks, or you couldn't see the red hair under the veil or nothing. I mean, it was just a brief second, so.
So,
Well, I guess don't think too heavy.
I asked Star, so did you figure out what the weird smell in her house was coming from?
She claimed that she spilled some when she was cleaning up some of her medical supplies. I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I think that she doesn't leave. I wonder if she goes to bed at night and we can sneak in and have a look when she's sleeping. Gash, can you keep quiet?
Yes.
I think you know. You're good at sneaking?
Gash is good at sneaking.
I think I could be, but I just don't think that the big guy's gonna sneak good. But hey, we can try it.
Very sneaky.
Okay, maybe we can go in there together, and then we can have Barf as a lookout.
Okay, I can do lookout. But when should we go? Well, we were going to wait for to see who comes out or who goes.
Right, to see if anybody goes to the lean-to as well. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go upstairs, see if we can find a good vantage point and hang out there for a while? If we don't have anybody, in quite a while, that looks like they're going to go in and out of that, back area, then maybe we can go check about her house. Maybe. But I'll tell you what, she might be willing to kill us if she catches us in there.
I think we can handle ourselves.
Gosh, not worried.
Okay.
By the time you guys use the tea per se and get it through everything, it's probably like 8:30ish, 9. The sun's kind of set on the horizon, so it's dusk. and starting to get dark out. Did you want to go upstairs and keep an eye out for a little bit first, and then go from there?
That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Much easier to sneak in the dark.
Yeah, you get upstairs. The best lookout is, conveniently is Barf's room. When you look out the window, it has a pretty good view of the alleyway. You're only up there maybe 15, 20 minutes, and you see two men kind of go alongside of Ma's house over to where the lean-to area is. They briefly step out of sight for a few moments, and then you see them step back into the light. They're carrying, it looks like, some shovels and pitchforks and some different, like, digging tools. And then they kind of start heading down the street towards the direction of Echo Hill.
Who's doing the lookout? Or can we all just
You
look out
could
the
all
window
kind
to
of
see
see
it?
that from around the window.
Okay.
So what's Echo Hill?
Echo Hill is a hill. It's on the west side of the town it's named after. Rumors always say that if you called out at night on Echo Hill, you'd hear your echo return in 3 days. But more noticeably, there's a large cemetery along one side of it for the town.
Grave diggers. They're up to no good.
They're dick livers. And did they mess with the lean-to, or did they just...
They went over by it, but that's when they kind of stepped out of sight for a few moments and stepped back in.
Okay.
I'd say we followed them.
And they're not carrying anything different after going there?
There's shovels, right?
Yeah, they didn't come with shovels and stuff, but they're leaving with some shovels and
they
pitchforks.
left with shovels.
Okay.
Did we see when I looked in that lean-to? Did I see shovels and pitchforks?
Nope.
No. Ooh.
Star, you didn't see any around Ma's place.
Yeah, she didn't have like a back shed thing or anything, right? Like
Nope.
an outbuilding.
Nope.
Okay.
I think we should follow those guys.
Yeah.
I literally just said that.
Well, yes,
So
guys.
much room in here too. Wow.
I know, isn't it nice?
Hey, Gash. Hey. Sorry, buddy. I think we should go follow them as well. Now we all said it. Yes.
Yeah, I think we have to go pretty quick because if we want to follow them, they're already on their way.
I don't know where they went yet. Did you see where they went?
They just started to head down the street.
Yeah.
You can see them down in the distance. It's pretty much just a one-lane street through a town and then out up the hill before it branches off, into the distance.
And it's not. Wait, is it the two guys that we knew from the bar?
If somebody wants to give me a perception, what's it called for this? Perception? Yeah, perception.
We're all looking, so we all could.
Yeah, if you're all welcome to. From where you're at, you'll get a boon on top of it as well. Well, you got a success, so. Yeah, Gash, it looks like the two guys. Brandon Lackus,
It's the
the
two guys
bartender
that I
called him.
was drinking beer with.
They're up to no good, I'm sure. Let's go follow them, for real. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
And if anything, maybe we can have some entertainment from them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Are you trying to stay out of sight?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being all sneakily in my burglar ways.
In a burglary.
Being very burgly.
Oh, wait, hang on a second.
Mhm.
I could have cast invisible this whole time.
I've got disguise. Yeah, but I can't think of anybody we would want to disguise. Oh,
Oh, that would have been so helpful earlier.
I'm gonna disguise myself as Ma.
Okay.
Okay, so
You
I'm
can
gonna
do
cast disguise on myself to make myself look as Ma,
Okay.
and it lasts for an hour.
Oh, that's plenty of time then, for sure. Okay.
I can wait. Hang on a second, because I can only increase my height by 25%. I do it on Star.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I look like Ma.
Yeah, you look like Ma.
Yeah, the cemetery is only maybe 10 minutes at most out of time, so that's more than enough time for what you need.
Okay.
So disguise. All right. So you look like Ma.
Wonderful.
And I think Star should walk. We might be able to just walk up nonchalantly because she's disguised, and they came from Ma's place. Let's Star should walk ahead, and as though she's leading us.
Let's do that.
And then
And
you can
then
just
if
walk
they-
up and ask questions.
Right. Again, I mean, apparently all the people like me. So yeah, we can try that. And she smiles. She smiles like with the old lady smile.
Okay. Yeah, you can tail them through the town for, a few minutes. Takes about 10 minutes. You see them open the gate to the cemetery, and they kind of like move into the cemetery. It's a pretty well-kept cemetery. Everything's trimmed really nice. There's some really beautiful trees, oak trees that kind of hang down, and it's very well-kept. A lot of the graves have flowers. As you start to move through, you'll notice a few graves here and there are covered with looks like to be fresh dirt, as if they've been dug up or they're recently buried, something. But the gravestones don't match. Like a lot of the old gravestones of 30, 40 years ago are the ones that look like they've been dug up.
How many of them?
6 of them so far. The last one that
6
you
of them.
walk past, when you get a look over and you get a glance of it, you can see it's Nadia's, and it looks pretty fresh, even though she was supposedly buried about 4 months ago. But it looks like it was just recently either buried or dug up or something. All the earth right around there is all fresh. Up about 100 yards up ahead of you, see the 2 men start digging away in a grave area.
How does no one notice this?
Or care or something.
I think you should go up and ask him. Well, how about you just go by yourself, Star, and we'll try to stay back far enough that if something were to happen, we can rush in, but so that we're not obviously within sight, and maybe you can go ask him some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Peeking behind.
Now,
the
is this one of these disguise until I get hit things? Like if I get hit, do I turn back into myself?
Doesn't say anything like that.
I don't think so.
No.
So
just
do I
says
have
you
my
change-
weapon still?
Yeah.
Change the appearance of the target's clothing and equipment, though the effect does not mask any sounds it normally makes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I walk up and I go, boys, what are you doing?
The one jumps up and he turns around. He holds his head and he's like, "Ma, what are you doing here?" He's like, "You should be in bed. It's late." He says. The other guy kind of tries to be quiet, and the other guy's like, "We didn't do it, Ma. I swear we didn't do it."
Oh, you did it, and now you're gonna tell me.
He says, "We didn't do it. She made us do it."
She?
A cell.
I knew it was her. A cell. Okay. But what did she make you do?
He's like, "Well, how come you're here, Ma?" He says, "Well, we're just trying to work for the night. We're digging fresh graves."
Oh, I was just coming to check on Nadia's grave
He's like,
tonight.
"Well, you should be in bed." He says that we covered her grave freshly the other day. We planted we planted the flowers that you left.
Well, I see the flowers, but why is it fresh anyway?
The other one, kind of the toothless one, you can see he has a sense of fear in his eyes. He's staring at the ground, kind of moving some dirt. The other one says, "Ma," he says, "you told us to plant the flowers for you. That obviously we had to dig up the dirt, right?"
But not the whole grave.
Well, that was the dumbass over here. He didn't know what he was doing. He had a few too many Jim Beams.
Okay. I think you just like digging dirt, don't you?
Yeah, that's it, man. We just we're just good diggers. He says, you can go back. He says, Bran, why don't you take the old lady home and help her get into bed? You can see the
No. I got it. And that's a bunch of malarkey, but that whole to digging thing. But
so Bran
Estelle?
Bran's kind of trying to motion you to leave. And he says, just come with me, Ma. I'll tell you about it.
Okay. And I start walking back. Do I see the guys when I turn around?
I think they're hidden at the moment, so.
Okay. So I walk back
Bran.
with Bran here and go, so Bran, it's okay, you can tell me what is going on here, young man.
He says, Ma, I gotta understand, Estelle blackmailed us. She knows what happened. And she put us to work. She said she's gonna tell everybody if we don't, do her dirty business. You realize she killed Estelle or killed Nadia, right? It was her.
Estelle?
I swear it was.
Well, I've always thought it was Estelle, but
It's like that bitch. She's blackmailing us. They think that we did it. No, we didn't do it, Mal. We didn't do it.
you mean kill Nadia? No, of course. Why would you kill her?
Exactly. Yes. See, but she has a lot of pull, and she's going to tell the people, and then we're going to be in jail. And I don't have a home as it is. I'm just trying to eke out a living.
No,
He says
I
you
know
don't
how
have
it
to.
is, and
He says Lacus he's just scared. He don't know what else to do either. But you helped me one time, and I'd like to return that favor.
well, and I thank you for that. I'll tell you what. I think I can take it from here. Why don't you go back with Lacus?
He says, please just do something about Estelle. We can't keep doing this. Digging these bodies up for her, and yeah, it's just too disturbing. But I don't have any way out.
Wait, you dug up Nadia's body?
Well, no.
Wait, no, you said you digging up bodies for her.
Says, I'm sorry. He says I didn't do it. Lacus. He said that was one night when I was passed out that he had to work on it. The dirt's fresh. I assume so, but I've only had to work on some of the other old bodies.
Where do you take these bodies?
To a cell.
Okay. You haven't done anything wrong here. Go back to your friend and make it like you haven't spoke to me. I'll see what I can do about Estelle.
I knew I could trust you, Ma. Thank you. He says I'll make this right. I'll make this right. I promise.
You came to the right person. Thank you very much.
And you can see he's just like pouring sweat and nervous and fidgeting with his shovel that he has in his hands and stuff as he kind of makes his way back towards Lacus.
Right. And then I remember from like her being kind of the way she was, and I go, okay, be off.
He just kind of pops up and hurries as quickly as he can.
Right. Okay. Cool. It worked. Whew. And I go, is he reasonably away or whatever now?
Yeah.
And I go, hey guys, you guys out there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Whoa, that guy's a weirdo. This town is weird. Anyways, do I still look like the old lady?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, good. Can I not look like the old lady? This is weird.
No, I think.
Or does it only last for an hour?
It's an hour.
Yeah.
And I'll start blinking in and out of myself.
Yeah, it's 1 hour. I end the spell.
Okay, cool. So I go, wow, that so there's a lady named Estelle. Have we heard her? I don't remember hearing of that name. Do you?
Is she the wedding dressmaker?
The cell seamstress. Yep.
Yeah. See. So Estelle is contracting those boys to dig up graves, and he didn't want to say that they dug up Natalie's grave because he says he didn't know, but he was happy about the fact that we put in the flowers for us, for me, meaning Ma. But yeah, they're definitely digging up these graves. I should have asked if they were the other boys. I didn't think to do that, and I'm sorry. But we could just go look maybe. Maybe we should come back during the day tomorrow. It wouldn't be strange for somebody to walk around the graveyard during the day.
Well, it's still night, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those guys are here still.
Well, but they're not at Ma's place.
No, they're not at
See
Ma's
if there's
place.
anything happening at Ma's place before the sun comes up. Gash, do you think you can get in there?
Definitely.
Yeah, Gash should go have a look.
Well, I want to go back to the room. I feel weird after being Ma.
No, you gotta come with us. You never know what might happen.
No, you're right. You're right. It's just. Can you not do that to me again?
Not unless I have to.
You know, as you guys are talking, you kind of hear something to the side. When you look down towards the gate to the cemetery, you can see an older form, kind of hunched over a little bit, walking up. She holds like a small flower of pots. You quickly recognize it as Ma.
Ooh.
Tough.
Yeah, that's gonna make it kind of rough.
Which way is she walking?
Looks like she's headed towards where Nadia's grave is at.
I think
And where are we from there? We should get out of sight.
At the
but
moment, you would be
within
near it.
earshot? Let's get out of sight
Can
within
she?
earshot.
Did she see us?
Not yet, no.
You think?
No.
So yeah, definitely get out of shot, but out of sight, but within earshot. So certainly.
But hey, we might be able to beat her to her place. Let's see what she does, and if she heads back, let's try to get there first.
Well, if we can't beat that old lady, we got a problem.
She slowly walks up to where the grave is. She looks around. Where the guys are, they're kind of out of sight from her point of view, so she doesn't notice them. She looks around just to make sure there's nobody around. She doesn't see you guys. She bends down. You can see her like fidgeting around Nadia's grave, and she looks at it like really strangely. And you can see her like cursing under her breath or like complaining about something. And she's seems to be really curious about this fresh dirt and stuff. And she's kind of like brushing stuff out of the way. Slowly you see her, move some dirt out of the way, and she takes something and sets it down in a hole that she made, and then covers it back up, and she packs the dirt real tight. She bends down and prays for a few moments, and then she gets back up and slowly starts walking back towards the entrance to the graveyard or the exit.
Let's quickly have a look at what she put in there, and then we got to beat her there.
Yeah.
I don't think we can all do that.
That's alone are mind-boggling.
I think we should send Gash off to go break into the chick's house.
Okay.
And then you and I should say to take a look, because Gash can handle himself. I know he can.
All right,
Okay.
disappear into the shadows and make my way towards the old lady's house.
All right. You can beat her without a problem. When you get there, you'll notice that she has like all the shutters on all of her windows are closed. Her door is locked. She's a good ways back, taking the main road. You kind of cut through the hills, and so you probably have a good 10-15 minutes before she gets there.
If I was a professional burglar,
Which you hams.
get inside this house. Me as a player, I'm not a professional burglar.
We go in through the window. It was unlocked.
You said the shutters were closed. I'll try the
Can't
window.
you open them?
Of course.
Um,
I will try the window.
yeah, you can fidget with them for a few moments, and you're able to pop one of the shutters open, and get your fingers under the lip of the window. It'll definitely open without a problem. It looks like it would open up into what looks to be a bedroom.
All right. Well, I sneak inside.
All right. Yeah, when you get inside, you kind of look around. It looks like a bedroom of some sort. It's very nicely kept. The walls are like a soft pink sort of color. There's a large quilt over top of the bed. It looks like it's made out of different animal hides. Everything's like stuck in a little perfect place. It looks like a perfect little bedroom of some sort. On one of the desks, you can see like a small writing journal, some different perfume bottles, a picture of Ma, with her arm around like a younger girl who's maybe like 9 or 10 with bright red hair.
Well, you know where you are. Maybe Gash doesn't, but I do.
Can I read the journal? Is there enough light?
Inside is just like all sorts of pretty much just like teenage thrill about having a boyfriend, and it talks about how great Aiden is and what she's going to do, and being able to go get a new life up north with him. And as you kind of flip to the back, you can start to see parts that talk about how she's been sick lately, and something seems off. And then the last page says, talks about how she found out that she is pregnant. She sent a message to Aiden so that he would come back and talk to her. And as you flip through and you read some more, you realize Aiden was in town a few weeks before he was officially known about, and she became pregnant. And then you can read through a few more, and then she mentions leaving or sending a message to Aiden that he needs to come back with, that she's with child. And then finally it mentions about how he proposed and that they're going to make a life. But, the big thing was they didn't want to have like a bastard child. And, that would be looked down upon, especially for a midwife's daughter. So they wanted to make sure they were married and everything was squared away before they told people that she was pregnant.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's a lot of reading in a short amount of time.
Yeah, cool. Good thing you're a master reader.
Yeah.
Gash is awesome at reading.
Reading. It's, all right. Well, can I sneak out of her room and
Yeah, you can.
I
When you
guess
kind
try
of
to
glance
find
down
a-
the street, you can see Maz maybe 100 yards. She'll probably be there within the next couple of minutes. When you look outside the bedroom, it just leads out to the main kitchen area. You can see the bowl with the different spices on the table with candles surrounding it. You see like some sort of strange ruin carved into the table with chalk. In the basket beside the main door to go out, there's like a little waste basket, and it's filled with all sorts of like oils that are like dripping down the side of it. Looks like there's some sort of blood or something in there. There's some different herbs, spices.
Huh. I don't think any of this would be useful to Gash.
No, don't steal from
Well,
I,
she's-
anyways.
Yeah, if she's coming, I think I will sneak back out of there to go meet my comrades.
With some good info.
All right. Yeah, so as you can get back into what you assume is Nadia's room, and you kind of start slipping through the window, you can hear Ma on the other side of the room, or the other side of the door, coming in through the
Oh.
front door. Let's see. Gosh. Why don't you give me an agility check with just a straight up? Oh, you're a burglar. Give yourself one boon. Yeah, you're able to slip out through the window without a problem, and close the shutters so it looks pretty much the same. Get the window closed tightly so there's no evidence left that you notice. Yeah, you can hear Ma on the other side of the room. As you can, as you're like shutting the shutter, you can see her enter Nadia's room and kind of look around. She takes a seat at the desk and flips open the journal. You can see she's just like reading through it slowly, and then you kind of close the shutters the rest of the way. Star and
All right.
Barf, what are you guys doing?
I think we need to go see what she put in front of the grave there.
Yeah. I'm gonna crawl over there and kind of try to dig that back out.
All right. You kind of clear the dirt away. You see a small little leather satchel. When you open it up, there's a whole bunch of little flowers. There's some daisies and peonies and a couple daffodils in there. There's a strange substance, almost like an ash of some sort, that's been piled in there. There's a couple candles, a red one, a black one, and a green one that have all been mostly melted down. That's in there. And then you see like little pieces of flesh that have been put in there as well. It's all been tied up into like a little cloth satchel. And then placed
None of
inside
them are
the...
penises, are they?
No, it don't look like it is, but it's only...
Okay, good.
At least if it is, it's all chopped up in little pieces.
Oh, wonderful.
Raw flesh?
Yep.
Hmm.
Does it smell fresh, rotten,
Smoked.
smoked?
Okay.
It's got a nice bark.
Now I'm starting to think that she cooked this man. These are all humans, right? That we're talking about here, right?
The first three, Garrick was human. Broad was something else. Everybody figured he was a half-orc or an orc of some sort. Really ugly and bestial looking. Mr. Eckerd was human, and Oric was a dwarf.
Oh, Orc was a dwarf. Okay. And Nadia is also is human.
Yep. So's Ma.
Okay. Yeah, so am I. Okay.
Hmm.
So okay, yeah, don't know what to make of it. I put it back in the ground because I don't want to disturb what she did. I look over at Barf and I go, that's kind of just seems like a memento thing. The flesh is kind of strange, but it looks just a memento thing with all the ritual that you said that you saw she's doing. It's probably just a ritual to her. I hope we didn't just screw that up for her.
I don't know. Maybe this is how she's trying to talk to her daughter.
Maybe she should just take some of that stuff that we took.
Well, we better get out of here because those other guys, they might be finished their grave robbing pretty soon, and we don't want to be in sight. We should go back and check up on Gash, maybe.
Well, that's no time like the present.
Oh. So we're heading back then? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I assume I meet you somewhere along the middle.
Yeah, somewhere like
I
halfway.
step out of the shadows, all cool, like.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, hey, buddy.
Mhm.
You even kind of got me on that one. So she put a satchel of that had flesh in it.
Oh.
And it was well, there's a lot of other stuff, but it looked like a ritual maybe or something. I don't know.
Smoked flesh, too.
Yeah, it looks like you could eat it.
Oh.
It's kind of weird.
So what'd you see?
I think
And I found a journal that had blah blah blah. All the stuff in it.
it had info dump.
Info dump.
The DM just said she was kind of a slut.
Yeah. She well, these things happen to girls, and I rub my stomach. And I go,
bad apple. Next thing you know, you're pregnant.
yeah, hey, you meet a bad apple. See, it's kind of working here. Ooh.
So those guys mentioned the seamstress who's ordering the graves to be dug up.
Right.
That's got to be our next lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Ma has something more to do with this. I think she's I don't know what she is. Maybe she's leading all of this. She's just making it look like she's not.
She drew all over her dining room table.
Oh, yeah? What did it look like?
I look a little puzzled. I don't remember. It was drawing things.
Yeah.
Hard to
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. It's okay.
What else did you see?
There's a garbage can. That had garbage in it. That's about it.
Mrs. Lippy's car is green. But
Might be good at burglaring, but he's not good at once he's in the house.
I'm telling you, whatever happened inside of there. Yeah, all right.
Whoever said that we need a burglar for this fellowship is incorrect.
We just need a gash.
So should we go see the seamstress in the morning, or should we go tonight? What time is it?
Think.
But probably about 10ish or so at night.
Yeah, I
10
don't
at
think
night?
she wants to be bothered this evening.
Oh, we're on a mission from the. He's not a king, is he? Just like a high ruler.
Yeah, sort of a king, sort of, kind of the same ranking
Yeah.
of the area.
Well, we're on a mission from God here.
Yeah, but even he rested on the seventh day. We gotta go to bed. And that lady is not going to want to talk to us tonight.
Yeah, we could talk to her first before we try anything else. Because who knows? Maybe when we talk to her, she might just be open.
At 10 o'clock at night.
No, in the morning.
Oh, okay.
We can go sleep.
Yeah. All right, I trust in y'all's judgment.
All right, Gash, come on. It's okay. And I start making my way back towards the rusty spoon or whatever it's called.
So am I. The
Raging hamster.
raging hamster.
Raging cockroach.
I'm so looking forward to that bed.
Yeah, you should have like 3 beds.
Yeah.
All right.
For your sleep dancing.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So
When you
I'm
get
gonna
there, I
renew
mean,
my spells.
the tavern's kind of closed up for the night and stuff, but the barkeep, he obviously lets you in and get you guys set up in your rooms and stuff. Says breakfast will be on the stove at 6 a.m. boys, ladies. And he kind of looks at Star. Says, you can come down and get a complimentary breakfast before you head out in the morning. How you guys making out? Find any leads?
Yeah, there's some good stuff we found around here, and I just don't want to share too much.
Says good.
Yeah. We don't know. He's not a suspect, but we got to be careful I don't say anything.
All right, he says, well, what'd you find out? He says, maybe I can help. He says, I've heard a lot of rumors being the barkeep around here. Everything from the ghost in the canyon to, the grave diggers.
Where's the seamstress's home?
He says, there's a handful of them, but the most popular is the cells. And he's down by the textile building.
And she's kind of well known around here, she's well known outside
He
of
says, oh yeah.
the town.
Cells, she's a very skilled seamstress, probably the best in the land if I had to say so. I don't know much about gowns. I don't wear them, but they look good on my wife.
Is she pleasant?
Eh,
Wait, it's a he though, right?
a cell, no, it's a lady.
Oh, okay.
Says, well, she's nice, ugly as hell and pretty homely looking, but she's good with a needle. Says there's a lot of nobles that come down from the north and purchase wedding gowns and ball gowns from her. Pretty skilled.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of points around and you can see that there's a big antler chandelier that hangs from the ceiling, and there's a couple like taxidermied foxes and like a bear hide on the wall and stuff. She's like, yeah, her dad was pretty skilled too. He learned a lot from him, and kind of points around to these things. He's like, he made a lot of these for me. He was quite the huntsman.
So the family went from taxidermy to wedding gowns. That's quite a jump.
He says, well, they got to follow the times. Once they started bringing in silks from the forest. Way back when, this was quite the port city, and there was a lot of people here that would come for hunts in the woods. And Mr. I don't have the last name for himself. How about Bennett? He says Mr. Bennett, he was a hell of a huntsman. Took out a lot of people on hunting things out in the woods, and it was a trade for quite a while. But once things started going downhill, they had to make money somehow, so they kind of swapped over to doing tanning hides and making clothes and chaps and basic breeches, and it went from there. Obviously, she didn't want to make saddles and pants, so she went with wedding gowns and ball gowns. He's like, she still makes stuff now and then for me, and kind of points to like a blue jay that's on a stick, and he says she did that a few weeks ago. But yeah, her main thing is just doing the wedding gowns and stuff.
And you said something about grave robbing?
He says, well, I keep hearing about something. I haven't been to the cemetery, but Brandon Lack has been talking about graves that have been dug up there, and there's quite a stir going around town about some of these graves that have been dug up.
And how long has that been going on for?
He says, oh man, he says probably the better part of a year.
And do you think when do the people start? The people that went over the bridge, when did that start?
So if you count Nadia, about 4 months ago. The first boy, Garrick, he went over about 3 months ago. If you ask me, it's probably that banshee. He said there's a ghost down in that canyon.
ghost in the canyon.
Says, I saw it myself. I went out there one night and seen it drifting across the ground. It was scary as shit. I had it right back here and been there since.
How far is
Nice.
this from here?
Yeah, only a few minutes outside of town. You can just follow the main path.
A few minutes.
You're
What time-
seriously
what-
considering seeing a banshee?
What time did you see it?
Says, oh, I don't know, maybe midnight-ish or so. I went out and, I've been having a rough time lately with the family, so I just went out for a few drinks and, I saw it drifting across the ground out there. I figured I probably shouldn't get its attention, so I just came running right back.
Has anybody been hurt by it?
Says, well, there's been 4 people castrated and hung, if that counts.
Hmm. And when did the banshee show up? Has that always been around?
Says, yeah, it's been rumors for years and years. That's the first time I saw it, but, most of the townspeople have seen it at one point or another, so they say. Seen it with my own eyes. A great drifty, it looked like a white clothy sort of thing. Beady red eyes. Drifted away and then kind of disappeared.
Very interesting.
Sounds very
So,
terrible.
the seamstress, do you know anything about her? Do you know, if we wanted to get on her good side to ask her a few questions, would you recommend anything?
You looking for a ball gown? Says
Star needs a ball gown.
Says she's a
Yeah, I absolutely one.
Yeah.
she's a money
I've been drinking a little bit of that
mead.
that mead, and so yeah, I did that on purpose. I need
Said she's a money first sort of lady. It's hard times in this town anymore, and she'll take what money she can get. If you want to make a deal with her and get her to talk, you better pay her.
How much money do we have?
not very much, and not enough to buy one of her brand dresses. Do you have any idea what her dresses cost, even?
He shrugs. He's like, I don't wear gowns. He says my wife picks them up now and then, maybe 10, 15 coppers.
We don't have to buy it. We just have to be interested.
Unless you're looking for
Or
something
make
really
it like we
fancy.
could buy.
So some of the dresses in
Yeah.
there are exquisite.
Or we can tell her we're here to acquire a dress for a family member of the Lord who sent us here. And we can maybe ask her some questions, and then we say we're going to go back to him with some information on her dresses. Do we have anything like a writ or anything from the Lord, like a seal or anything that says that we're performing business for him?
Gash and Star got messages from him. You would have been in town, and he probably would have spoke to you personally, Barf. But Gash and Star both got like a written message sending them here.
What does it say on it?
Just a basic, that they wanted him to, or wanted those two to head on down to.
It would work.
I mean,
Yeah, we can just kind of stretch the truth a little bit and say that we're not here investigating murders, but we're here shopping for a dress. We can say Star is the family member.
It's not an awful idea.
he's like, well, she's got money in her eyes, so if you flash a few coins, I'm sure she'll be happy to oblige and do what she can. Kind of a greedy bitch, if you ask me, but she's good at what she does.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys. I think that we should call it an eve, and we go over, we talk to the lady in the morning. I'll try on some dresses. Not really my thing usually, but I'll try on a dress.
Okay, so heading to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I somehow ended up with an extra. I found a cockroach scurrying through his tavern, and I now have 2 pet cockroaches.
Beautiful. What's the other one's name?
Richard.
Richard. All right.
Yes. Betty and Richard. Although Richard's not a he, Richard's a she, but he got it wrong.
Richard, female cockroach.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna renew my spells. unless we get a full night's sleep.
Well, Star and Barf do. Gash, can you give me a... How about a strength? You're going to have 3 Banes, though.
Strength.
That's wonderful for you, sir.
All right. So, yeah, Barf and Star, you guys, get to bed without too much of a problem. You had to sleep for the night. Barf, you're woken up in the middle of the night. You have, like, this powerful grip, like something's covering over your face. When you open your eyes, you see something that kind of looks like it's dressed in white. Your vision's really blurry, and you can feel yourself starting to black out as a cloth is pressed over your face. You can see like bright red hair cascading down the shoulders, and you see like almost marbly, very opaque eyes staring at you before you black out. You can feel yourself, you like in and out of consciousness, and you can feel yourself getting dragged, and then something hard hits you on the back of the head. Take 1 point of damage, or 1 health. And eventually you just kind of black out. You can feel your like head thumping down the stairs of this tavern, and then you black out. Star and Barf, when you guys wake up in the morning, what do you do?
Oh, so that was me. I thought you said Barf. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, I thought I was...
I'm sorry. Yeah, Gash, I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, okay. So I'm not knocked out.
No, I'm sorry. It's Gash.
Okay.
Oh, wow. 11 hit points.
And we notice that he's missing?
Yeah, he doesn't come down for breakfast, and, if assuming you check his room, you can see, like, the covers are thrown off. You can see a little bit of blood on the floor. There's a rag sitting off to the edge of the bed.
Oh, Star is a heavy sleeper.
No, I'm there.
Oh, no.
I look around and I go, something's not right. I go back downstairs. Is the barkeep there?
Yeah, you can see he's like chopping up some stuff for the morning and frying up some eggs and getting stuff around opened.
Have you seen the other guy? The big guy?
He looks over, he's like, I ain't seen nothing. Good morning. Eggs?
Yeah, in a minute, but we got to find our buddy first. I go outside. He's not around. He's not anywhere around to be seen.
No, you don't see nothing.
Who else is in the tavern?
At the
Anybody
moment,
else?
just the barkeep. He hasn't even really opened the doors yet, so. Gash, when you finally, kind of come to, you're hanging upside down. When you look around, you can see, like, the far side of the wall, you see all these weird saws and scalpels and little blade type things, sewing needles, and you can see, like, tanned leather hanging on the wall. There's a really strange smell of chemicals in the air. There's a sharp pain in your wrist. When you look down, you can see little hooks in each of your wrists and looks like just tiny little incisions on each wrist.
Oh, that's terrible.
As you kind of wiggle a little more and you kind of spin around, behind you, you see like a large, looks like a porcelain basin. There's porcelain masks hanging on the wall. And the basin itself has a lot of, it looks like blood and other ichor that's in it. You can see a few different body parts. There's an arm and a leg.
Fuck. I don't suppose I can try to free myself, or am I just completely immobilized?
No, it looks like you're just hanging by your feet. You could reach up and unlatch yourself, probably. It looks like, as you kind of get a view for the room, it's probably maybe about 20 feet long, about 12 feet wide. You can see a door at the far end. There's just a couple little candles on the walls that's lighting it enough to see. Really damp air. Everything's just stonework and brick.
I think Gash would definitely want to get free and get the hell out of there. I don't think he can process that. Just like, fuck.
You got a hell of a headache at the moment. And, feel the back of your head, there's a little bit of blood back there.
Oh.
Your nose is bleeding a little bit. It seems to burn, like a chemical burn on your face.
Oh, this sucks. Okay. I still want to try to get free.
All right. You can either strength or agility, whichever one you think is better. I'm not sure which is better in your case.
Yeah.
Probably agility. Or strength.
Strength is 12.
Okay, yeah, just give me a strength. It doesn't seem like your last rolled hard or anything. Plus, you're a burglar, so give yourself 2 boons.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you kind of get a hold of your feet, it looks like it's just like a belt looped and twined around your feet. You're able to unhook yourself pretty easily and drop to the floor. It's kind of a hard thump. The floor is really cold.
And it's just sprint for the door.
It's just a
Wait,
solid.
don't I have hooks in my wrists or something?
You have just little like fish hooks on each wrist. They're not connected to any wires or anything. They're just like hooks that are in your wrist and little incisions. It's not bleeding profusely or anything, and it doesn't really hurt too much. More like a surgical thing of some sort. When you get to the door, it's just a solid steel door. There's no door handle or anything, and it's pressed into the tight to the wall. Like there's nothing really to get a hold of to open it.
Can I try to ram the door?
Yeah, it's just a solid thud. You know,
Oh,
a little ping through your shoulder a little bit. Star and Barf, what are you guys doing?
I don't trust the old lady. Let's go confront her.
You mean Ma?
Yeah, let's go tell Ma to give back Gash.
give him back.
Right.
Yeah.
We want some back now.
Yeah. Give us Gash, or else you got hell to pay.
All right. I mean, it's definitely kind of strange he's not around. There's some blood. Should we tell the barkeep on this, maybe?
I don't trust
Or
him.
should we
He might
keep-
be in on it too.
Okay, well, we can't just go accuse Ma.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, you bitch!
No, we can't.
Well, if we're wrong, then we're wrong. But we can just like accuse her of it and tell her to give him back.
Or maybe it's that lady.
I think it's Ma. Because where's she getting the flesh from? She's gonna turn Gash into bits of flesh in order for her
No.
to talk to her daughter.
She hates men.
Yeah, which is why she cuts them up. She
If you
cuts their
wanna go
penises
cut-
off.
Alright.
She cuts their little flesh up into pieces, cuts their penises off, and uses them as sacrificial offerings to talk to her daughter. We're gonna see Gash's penis in the back of her shack suit. We gotta go do this.
All right, let's go. We can go talk to her, but I'm telling you, I really think it's the other lady. I think we should go talk to her. But we
Okay,
can
well,
go talk to Ma first.
I think she's gonna de-penis him. We gotta go.
All right, let's go.
Poor
Okay.
Gash.
Yes, the eunuch.
And that, yeah, I didn't think we'd talk so much about your penis either, guys.
Ugly.
All right, so apparently we're going to Ma's house again.
Yeah.
All right.
Straight to the front door because this is official business now. I bang on the door.
All right. You kind of hear like thumping around inside, and you can hear, "Who is it?"
Give Gash back. Where is he?
You see her peek out the window. You're with her, Star, or with Barf? Okay. Yeah, she kind of peeks out the window, and you can see her staring out at you from when she closes it up. She opens the door just enough for the chain to catch. She's like, "I ain't got Gash."
Yeah, you do. Give Gash back.
She's like, No. I don't know what you're talking about, Goblin.
You're gonna take his penis.
I ain't taking any man's penis.
Well, we saw a penis back there. Now Gash is gone. You're gonna take his penis. Now give him back.
I knew you
don't
were
think-
crazy. She shuts the door.
All right, I get in front of the little guy and I go, Barf. I think you're going a little overboard with this penis thing. First off, second off, let's go talk to the lady that we've had 2 people tell us that she's crazy, and that's not this lady.
Okay, well,
I think we should go over there. At least go over there and to see if maybe we'll see more blood. Was there any? I'd like to go back into the tavern now after appeasing Barf and see. Okay, we saw a little bit of blood there. Do we see any more blood anywhere else in the tavern?
Let me see a little bit down the steps. Give me a perception. Do you have anything that'll give you a boon or anything? What's your geography, wilderness outlaws, punk criminal? Yeah.
Nothing really.
Nothing really. So yeah, just give me a perception.
So that's going to be. Yep, got it. And then just flat, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything that really help you out. 7. You can follow it along for a little while. It looks like it kind of leads across the room, just a few little droplets here and there, and out to the main street. But once it hits the street and the ground and the dirt and stuff, you lose track of what it is.
Does it look like a direction that it headed? Like I'm imagining the tavern having kind of like an old west kind of feel to it, like where maybe it had kind of like a porch thing.
Yeah.
Was there that kind of a direction that it was headed before we hit the road?
Not a specific way, no. I mean, it just looks like it heads out to the main street and down a little bit, but.
Okay, I was just thinking.
I guess it would head towards where down the street towards where Maz is and the textile and the cells and that direction, but not to a specific building.
Now, and that lady's textile place is past where Ma's house is.
Correct.
Okay. I didn't head back. I instead headed to the backyard of Ma's.
Okay.
And I climbed on the boxes that I was looking into the window with. And can I open up the window, or is it already open?
They're unlocked. I mean.
Okay. I climb in the window. Okay. And what do I see?
When you kind of walk through, you can see, a room. There's a really nice, big, fluffy, flower-shaped pillow on the bed and a couple old pictures on the wall. Looks like a very old lady's room.
Okay. I'm looking. I don't see Ma anywhere.
Nope. You can hear her out in the main room down the hall, but she's not within.
Okay. I head straight that way.
Towards Ma?
So towards Ma.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm heading down the hall, and do I see her yet?
Yeah, you can see her next to the sink, and she's cleaning off some dishes and stacking them up on the side.
Okay, I say, now look here. You can't ignore us because we're trying to figure out who killed all these people. There are dead people, plus your daughter's grave has been robbed. Now, we need some help, and you're going to help us, okay? Because there could be more dead people here. And
she kind of jumps up. You see a few plates, shatter on the floor. She spins around. She has a large cleaver knife in her hand, and she has a really annoyed look on her face, I guess. She kind of points it at. She's like, "Get out of my house."
I don't draw any weapons or anything. I just put my hands on my hips and say, "No, there are dead people here."
She's like, "My daughter is dead.
Your daughter's grave has been robbed. We need some help."
When you mentioned her daughter's grave, she just kind of looks at you. She's like, "I was at the grave. What do you mean it's been robbed?"
It's been robbed. The two gravedigger guys, the guys who were in. I don't know their names, or do I remember their names when they introduced themselves?
Yeah, Bran and Lacus. Yeah. Yep.
Bran and Lacus. They've been robbing graves for the seamstress. Do you know who she is? Do you know why she might be robbing graves? She
looks, completely confused for a moment, and then she points the knife at you. She's like, "I told you to get out of here." She's walking towards you, jabbing the knife in your direction.
And I say, "Don't you care what happened to your daughter?"
She's like, "Of course I care. That man destroyed her life." He said, "And you're a man too? I'm going to destroy yours."
Well, there's somebody who's destroying her afterlife now. Because your daughter's not in that grave.
She's like, "She most certainly is."
No, because they robbed her grave, and we need to get it back for you.
Yeah, at this point, she really ain't having any of it. She's just trying to get you out of her house, so she's going to try and stab at you.
Okay.
You kind of have the initiative on her, though. I mean, it's an old lady, so.
I really don't want to use my magic on her. I am just going to... Things are locked. When I came in through the window, could I get back through that window as easily as when I came in?
Yeah, assuming you left it open. I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna run because I don't want to use my magic on her. It'll really hurt her.
All right. Yeah. So she's like kind of following behind you, like jabbing at you with her knife, telling you to get out of her house. And these
Okay.
sleazy men destroying her life, and they should all be castrated. And she's like kind of stabbing at you.
Okay. I just keep running, and I head out the window.
All right. As you climb out the window, she kind of like leans halfway out the window. She throws a knife at you, which completely misses, and just kind of clatters down the alleyway. And she slams the door or the window shut again.
Okay. I dust myself off a bit and head back to the inn.
All right. Gash, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can hear there's like a loud thumping upstairs for a few moments, and then it goes quiet again.
Huh. I don't know. I yell.
Anything specific, or just
Help.
yelling? Okay. He goes
Going
by
to
for a
help.
few moments, and then you hear like a loud boom on the other side of this big steel door, and it opens up a little bit. There's a woman on the other side. She kind of stares at you. She says, "I'll be with you in a few moments," and she closes it up again.
Did I recognize who it was?
A shorter lady, probably like in her mid-20s, early 20s, somewhere in that area. She has like a long, hawkish sort of nose, really small, beady eyes. She looks a little bit disfigured. Her left side of her face kind of hangs a little bit.
She's like a tall goblin.
Yeah, she's comparable to a goblin,
No.
but she is human.
Yeah. Okay.
A few minutes go past, then it opens up again a little bit. She says, "Get back."
Let me out of here. Why am I here?
She says,
Who are you?
you can see her kind of staring in for a few minutes. She says, "I don't know what you're even doing here. I didn't bring you here."
Let me free.
She says, "So you can hurt me?"
No, I just want to leave.
Yeah, she opens the door up the rest of the way, and she kind of like stands back. You can see she has like a scalpel type looking thing in her hand. She's kind of holding it in front of her defensively. She's like,
I don't want to hurt you. I just want to leave.
she says, "Just leave. How did you get here?"
I have no idea.
What do you mean you have no idea?
I woke up here hanging upside down.
Yeah, she has a very confused look on her face, but she, steps back. She says, "This is my taxidermy office." She says, she kind of holds out a pouch toward you. She says, 30 gold. Don't say anything about it.
Okay. Deal.
Yeah.
So you snatch the bag and haul ass out of there?
All right. Yeah, you kind of go up through a set of steps, and you come up into a room. It has full of like wedding dresses and ball gowns and stuff, and you can see the main door up ahead of you.
I just run through the door.
All right.
I'm probably in freak out mode.
Star and Barf. So, as you guys, what are you doing?
I get back at the inn, look for Star.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be hard to find because I'm just kind of still looking around. I've kind of ascertained, and I feel like the drips kind of do go in that direction of Ma and the textile place, so we should probably head that direction.
Okay.
What did you find out?
Well, I've been to Ma's, and she chased me out with a cleaver, but
Wait,
I didn't
you
see
went
Gash
in
anywhere.
Ma's?
Yeah. And she
Like,
didn't have any.
Like, how'd you get in there?
I just went in through the window. It wasn't locked, so.
Oh, we know they're not locked, but you like invaded her privacy, man.
Well, I didn't take anything. I just talked to her, but she didn't feel like talking, which is dumb because her daughter's grave has been robbed, and I told her that, and she didn't care. So it's her loss. But I asked her if she knows anything about the seamstress, and she just threw her cleaver at me. So I don't think she knows anything. And Gash wasn't
maybe
there.
She doesn't want to. I told you he wasn't.
Okay, well,
We should make our way towards the drips, and I start going that
Okay.
that way.
All right.
so okay.
If you guys are heading
I'm
that direction, you'll see Gash like running out of this building down the street. You can see a South Seamstress kind of like a sign on the side of the building. You see him like burst through the doors and running in your direction.
And I go, I told you!
And I say, Gash, do you still have your penis?
Check. Yes.
Okay. Oh, good. Whew.
I check. It's awesome.
Where were you? What happened?
I was in the. I forgot.
We saw you go missing, and we thought you were stolen, and they were going to cut flesh off you and take your penis away. And you're at the seamstress?
Yes.
We saw blood. What happened?
Did you go there without us?
I tripped.
Tripped.
You tripped into the seamstress.
No.
Come on, Gash. Try really hard. What happened? Do you remember what happened, Gash?
All right, what happened after you woke up? And I walk up to him and I slap him real hard. Slap!
And I just
Come back through it, Gash. Are you here?
Gash just starts crying.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
well, we're here anyway.
All right,
Let's go
buddy.
in.
All right. And I give him a hug and I'm like, hey, is it? Hey, okay, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to slap you.
I give him
I just
the
comfort him.
gold that I had just fell out on the ground.
Oh,
uh,
how much money is that?
There's no money in there. It's just random tidbits I have.
I picked out and pick up one of the gold pieces and I said, "Okay, cool. There's
Gold
no money in
pieces.
there." And I put it back. I put it in my pouch. There's nothing in there.
Gold
You're right.
pieces. You've had gold pieces all this time?
Oh, there was gold in there this whole time?
Ah,
I don't know. No, there was none. And I go over and I try to pick up as many as I can. Like, does
put
Gash
that
stop
back.
me?
Don't take his gold.
He said there's none.
No, he's just don't victimize him. He can't count his gold. Don't take it from him.
All right. I pick it up and I put it all back in there and I go, Gash, and I do keep the one.
No, give him all his gold.
And I look back. I look back at the little guy and I like, you're a crappy goblin. And I go, give him the one back and I go, all right, buddy, this is what's up. Go back to the thing, have your crying moment or whatever you're doing right now, and we're gonna go talk to that lady. Was she mean to you?
And I guess it looks like I start to break down and be like, she kidnapped me. She cut me. And then like I show like my wrist or whatever. She paid me not to tell.
And I look at her wrist, look at Barf, looking back at the wrist, and say, those are weird. You ever seen anything like that, Barf?
No, I haven't, which gives us more reason to go. But Gash can't come with us if we're going to go with our original plan with the wedding dress acquisition. Now we have even more reason to question her. Even more reason to question her.
Yeah.
But,
why
but if
don't we
Gash
all...
comes with us, it's not going to work.
Right, because they're going to know that, why was that guy here?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he can wait outside for us. Gash, can you wait outside? And if you hear any kind of a commotion, you got to come in because we might need your help.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. As you guys start to get closer to Sal's, you can see there's like a shovel and some of the digging materials on the side of her shop. You can see here in the window, like straighten up some of the dresses on some mannequins and stuff like that, and getting things ready for the morning to open up.
Do I recognize any of the dresses from what I saw in that hallucination?
No, nothing specific. I mean, they're all wedding dresses and they all have a similar design to them, but they're not. You don't see anything that really sticks out.
I'm kind of weirded out because I'm still kind of like weirded out seeing wedding dresses, and I had that hallucination previously. So,
And are those certainly the shovels and stuff that we saw before?
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're digging. It seems like the same thing. A couple shovels, a couple picks,
Mhm.
small buckets of dirt.
If Barb didn't notice, I point that out as we walk by and say, "Yeah, look, it's this stuff." She's working with those guys. She's got to be. All right, let's go in. And, all right, we'll do the dress thing. I don't usually put dresses on, but we can have fun with that, I guess.
Why are they here now? They went to Ma's place, got shovels and stuff, and then now the shovels and stuff are here. Ma's got something to do with this. She's not telling the truth.
Well, let's find out what's going on here,
Okay.
and then we can go back. I know you got this thing for Ma, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. I don't trust her. So how are we going to convince her to tell us? How are we going to do this? So
I would like for you to be my consultant.
Okay. I can do that.
And you need to be kind of flamboyant.
Okay. Can Betty and Richard be consultants too?
Yes.
Okay.
They are your personal consultants.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that.
I get what you mean. Okay. So, and we're asking her about wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses and just small talk. I mean, all the we'd always have small talk. So and then if it doesn't go well, then we'll ask her why she kidnapped our buddy.
Okay. Okay.
And then
I'm
maybe
ready.
I'll stab her in the forehead with a dagger. I don't know. I don't have any problem with that.
Well, don't stab her unless she tries to hurt us.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try hard not to. Okay,
Okay.
let's go in.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you open up the door, like a little bell chimes up above your head, a nice little silver bell. She hurries over and she's like, "Well, what can I do for you, boys?" Well, I guess, what can I do for you, my young dear?
Yeah. Hello.
She
Hello,
says,
Governor.
"Are you getting married?"
Yes.
She
this
kinda-
is not to Tim.
That was my next question. It's a handsome
Yes.
goblin, of course, but
Yes, I am Barf Happy Snot, and I am the consultant for Starcrocs here, who is in search of a wedding dress. She's close family of Lord Artok Hurion. We've been sent on business to acquire a wedding dress, and we've heard that you are a good person. Your establishment is a great place to go to.
well, of course, this is only the finest silks and gowns you can imagine. He says, "I heard that Lord Urian would have some people in town. I was figuring it had to do with those murders, but he has good taste if he sent you here." He says, what exactly are you looking for? Is it a wedding? Is it something formal?"
I look to Star to answer.
And I go, well, I need a few dresses. This is something I'm new to, so maybe a little bit of both. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? There is
Of course.
a
She says she kind of leads you around, showing you some different ones. A lot of them some of them are like hanging on racks and stuff. Other ones are on display on mannequins that are like hanging out. Some of them she has laid out on like the tables. Is that she's like steaming the hems and stuff like that. She shows you quite a few and kind of pokes around. She says, "Are you into anything specific? The Victorian styles, is the more Gothic?" And, she kind of points out all these different fancy dresses of all sorts of types.
And I kind of lean a little bit more to maybe the Gothic side, and that I'm maybe more into that. But as we're looking, I go, I heard for the barkeep you do taxidermy as well.
She nods. She's like, "Well, my father used to," and she points to like a deer head that's on one of the walls and stuff. She's like, "Did that when I was younger. That was my first piece, and I don't mess with it anymore really. Every now and then I'll do something. I recently did a small little blue jay for the barkeep. Said it's just a side hobby. I mainly do. There's no money in that anymore, so I stick with the dresses.
So, but you wouldn't. Would you be able to possibly do something exclusive, rare, if somebody had such tastes?
Said, you mean like a monster of some sort?
A monster or just something much more unique than what most hunters would? Do you happen to have anything?
Because
Could you show us? Do you happen to have anything in a collection for somebody with special tastes?
Oh, she says, no, I don't really have a collection anymore. Just a few pieces you see around here, which they're just normal animals. She says, yeah, I can anything that was once living, you can really taxidermy. You know, spiders, insects, birds, fish, lizards, you name it.
Orcs?
I guess you probably could.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's just. I'm just saying. This is weird.
It's just a way to preserve. I mean, you know, way back when it was pretty common to have your family members taxidermied as a kind of a burial rite. But you know, that's years ago.
So, Star, have a look around. And
yes,
so tell me, have you heard any rumors of late? How's the town been doing lately? You said something about nasty murders?
She nods. Yeah, there's, you know, that old friend of mine, Nadia. She her husband stood her up. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a husband, would it? Her fiance stood her up, and she had a beautiful gown. She kind of ushers you over to one of them and shows you this gown that's on one of these mannequins, and she's like, this was her gown, actually. You know, she wore it the day of her wedding, and you know, Aiden, he never showed up. So she took it hard. I think she returned the gown, and you know, next thing you know, she hung herself on the bridge. Sad business.
Is it the one that I recognize? Is it the one from the dream?
It looks similar, but it's hard to pinpoint it.
I asked her, tell me, could you tell me if you had made a gown, if I could describe it to you?
She says, well, probably, yeah.
I try to describe to her the gown that I saw in the dream.
All right. So she's like, well, it sounds like something, geez, I don't know. But she kind of gives you like a fancy wedding dress name. I don't know any wedding dress names, but and she points to the same one that she was showing you. She said, you know, this is the only one I have that's even close to that style. She said, but it's probably similar.
And you said that Nadia was a friend of yours?
Well, you know, we were acquaintances. We didn't get along sometimes, you know, just teenage girl squabbles. But she was a good person.
What did you think of her boyfriend?
Aiden? He was a handsome young man. You know, to be fully honest, can't say I was a little bit jealous, but you know. And she kind of like points to her own disfigurement, and she says, "But you know, he wouldn't be interested in this anyway. Nobody is."
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. Look at me, I'm ugly, and girls just flock over me.
She's like, I'm sure.
Okay.
But he was, you know, everybody thought they were going to be married for a long time, and you know, he never showed up. It's, you know, sad business.
Yeah,
well, hopefully this doesn't happen to you, young lady. Your man's very honest, I assumed.
Of course.
So an establishment like this, do you do everything yourself here?
Yep, this is all my work.
And I saw some. So you only do taxidermy and wedding dresses?
Yep, and ball gowns and you know other fancy gowns, but that's it. Because I can whip up a pair of breeches if you need them, but I don't get much money for it.
So you're not in any other businesses?
No.
No, then how come I saw the digging equipment with fresh dirt on it outside?
Oh, well.
Like her.
She's like, I don't know. I didn't know there was anything out there. So that's strange.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe you had like a miner in the family or something like that.
She says, no, just me. My father passed away years ago. My mom, she passed away a few weeks ago. Older lady, just sick in her old age. Says I'm the only one left. You know, there's generations through this town. I don't have any children though.
So, Star, do you see any dresses here that you like?
And she points out a couple of them. It's certainly something, a good starting point. I think I'd like to maybe come back and, we should be in town maybe for a couple days.
She goes, would you like to try
You
them
know,
on?
not right this moment. Maybe I would like to come back. Is that okay?
She's like, certainly. There's, you ain't gonna find anything better. I promise you.
Well, a girl's got to shop. She
I
says,
try to sneak out of sight.
Yeah, she seems to be more occupied with Star at the moment, so
Okay.
you can get out of sight easy.
I'm sneaking out of sight and I'm going exploring.
All right.
I'm trying to find where Gash described being upside down or something. So I'm trying to find this room that he left.
On the far back wall, there's a room or a door that kind of goes into, looks like a sewing room of some sort, and then there's another door that goes down to in the basement.
I popped my head in the sewing room first.
It just looks like, just cloth and stuff hanging up. Nothing really fancy. There is a picture of Nadia, and it's kind of like has a dagger in it, and it's stuck underneath one of her tables.
So she had it out for Nadia.
Gash, are you still outside, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about making a grand entrance. I kind of want to just walk through the door, slam it open, and throw the sack of gold at her and say, like, you had no right.
It's up to you.
All right, I'm gonna got my courage back. I'm gonna come in, kick the door open, and the girl that's behind the counter talking to Star, is that the same one that gave me the gold?
Yep.
All right, well, I throw the gold at her face and I yell, you had no right.
Her eyes kind of widen up as the coins go spreading across the counter and onto the floor. She's like, get out of here. She's like, I don't need this here before I call the cops. The guards.
In the commotion, I sneak down into the basement.
All right.
And I look appalled, like, what.
She's like, get out of here. She's like, you came in here this morning trying to steal my dresses. Now you're coming back? You don't have no reason to be here.
No. You will pay. Why did you do this?
She's like, I didn't do anything. She says, get out of here, you damn orc.
Wow.
She picks up it looks like this huge long needle for something like leather or something. She's kind of like pointing it at you. She comes around the corner. She's like, get out of here.
Well, that's not gonna do well.
And I back up over to where it looks like maybe she has like a changing area and kind of make it like I'm afraid.
She's like,
no, you had me downstairs in the basement, blah, 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 blah.
She's like,
all pissed off about being kidnapped.
This crazy orc. She kind of like goes over to a window and she starts yelling out this window for somebody to get this orc out of here. Barf, downstairs, you kind of go down the steps. You can see it's like a long hallway. At the far end is a door. It's just a solid steel door. There's a bar that comes down across of it. So it would seem like it would lock
this side.
Yep, on your side. So it would lock whatever's in there in.
Oh, okay. Something might be locked inside. I am and the bar is closed.
Yep.
I'm gonna lift up the bar, and what's the light down here? Any light?
It's just a couple little candles on the wall. It's kind of dim, but you can see okay.
Okay. I lift up the bar and have a look inside.
All right. You open the door up a little bit.
But I'm trying to do it stealthily.
Okay. Yeah, you can lift the bar out of the way. It makes a little bit of a creaky noise, but you just do it nice and slow. Open the door a little bit. Inside, it looks like it's just a stone room. But as you open it up a little bit more, you start to see more. You see some porcelain masks all along the wall. On the far end, there's a whole bunch of sewing materials. You see an animal that's been partly dissected, and like all the insides and stuff's been thrown into a bucket on the side. It's just the hide that's left. As you open a little bit more, though, you start to see more. You start to see some body parts, some human arms and legs and stuff. Give me a will check with one bane. Criminal forger, academic. Yeah, with one bane. Actually, you have corruption one. Just do an even one then. Skinny O teeth. All right, so you pass. Yeah, the walls and stuff like that. You can see that they're stained with blood. The floor is stained with blood. There's a little drain in the center of the floor that seems to be catching. There's a lot of like hair and other slime that's caught right there. There's like a large porcelain bathtub that's filled with different body parts. You can see some of them have been started to be stitched together into the shape of a human, but they're obviously like, it looks like a human's been chopped up and then it's being stitched back together. What's left of the face has all been peeled off, but there's a porcelain mask covering the face, and the whole thing has a very it's almost like it's going to stand up and like portray something, and it's kind of has its arms out.
I look around, and is that all I can see if I try to give like a really good look?
Yep, that's pretty much all that's in the room. All the taxidermy materials. It has a very strong smell of just meat and rotting flesh. Some different chemicals like tanning hides and stuff like that. If you can get a little bit closer to the body that has been being stitched together, you can see that the skin is like really strong and tough. It looks like it's been hardened up with something. The skin itself's been tanned.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the room and bar it up behind me. So I closed the bar behind me. And was that the only room that was down in the basement?
Yep.
At the end of the hallway?
Yep.
And okay, so I head back upstairs. And I sneak up the stairs and I look because there was a commotion when I left, and so now what's upstairs?
Well, Gash, what are you doing? And Star, she's kind of coming around the corner with that huge leather needle, kind of like jabbing at your direction, telling you to get out of here, and yelling out the window for somebody to come get you out of there.
I'm not going to back down. I think I'm on the verge of wanting to stab her in the face.
Okay.
I'm traumatized.
So you see her yelling at Gash, and she's kind of like has her hand up towards Star's direction, telling Star to stay back.
Yeah, and I'm playing the game, and cowering in fear and such.
She's like, "Where's your little goblin friend? Can't he get him out of here?"
I don't know where, and I yell out, Arf! Hey, and I look at her. I say, "That's his name. I'm sorry."
I come up and I come out from downstairs and I say, I know exactly what's been happening, and I point at her and I say, "You've been having what's his name and so, except I use her actual name.
Brandon
so I just can't
Lacus.
remember it personally. You've been having them rob graves, and you're building a flesh golem downstairs. What evil magic are you participating in?"
She looks at you for a few. She's like, "Well, how do you know this?"
Because I was down there. Because we were suspicious. You kidnapped Gash, and
She says, "I did
we
not
came here to
kidnap
look."
Gash. I don't know how he got here."
Okay, and what is the flesh golem downstairs
She
for?
sets the needle on the table and she says, "You have this all wrong." She says,
Well,
"I'm not going to say anything." She says, "You need to leave."
and I say, you are going to say something because people are dying, and
She says, "I'm not behind these people dying. I have nothing to do with it. It's all Ma."
it's Alma, and what's she doing?
She says, "I don't know what she's doing. Apparently castrating these young men. She has it out for men anyway."
And what is that down there?
She says, "Look, mannequins are very expensive. I can't afford them." When you look around at some of the other ones wearing red dresses, you notice that they, some of the hands that are sticking out look a little more human than they should, and they all have porcelain masks on.
So
She's
all right,
like-
so I get up,
she's
and
like-
I walk to the closest mannequin and I flip off the mask.
You see the mask there, the face has pretty much been all peeled away, so it's just little bits of skull and stuff underneath. She says, "Look, I can't afford it. I have to make a living." She said, "There's nobody cares about the bodies in the cemetery."
But how does Ma overtake these young able men? You look at her, she's old. How does she overtake them, castrate them, and throw them over the bridge?
She says, "I think it's Bran and Lacus. Those two, I seen them kill Aiden. They pushed him off the bridge."
I knew she had him killed. And I said,
She says he went out there partying the night for his wedding, and they went out drinking on the bridge, and next thing I know, they pushed him over. I've been making them do my work for me. I promised I wouldn't tell nobody. She says, "But
I'm gonna tell you something here, young lady." And I get up and I look at her and I go, and I crick my neck and I go, I'm probably younger than you, but we're gonna come clean. We're here because of those murders. We're here because of all this. Do you have this information, and are you willing to tell people this information?
She says, "As long as I don't have to mention what I have, I can't be out of business. Where would I live? But I'll give them
I
men
look
up."
back to the mannequin and I put the porcelain mask back over it and I go, I see nothing. What about you, fellas?
I don't see anything. Well, it's if she's robbing the graves, if it comes from the graves and she's not hurting people to get these, it's unfortunate that she's pilfered some graves for this, but she's no murderer, and we're here for a murderer.
She says, "I didn't bring Gash here. I don't know how he got into my basement."
But he was here this morning.
She says,
Yeah.
"I heard him yelling for help down there." She says, "I bet your ma tried to set me up. She's been had it in for me ever since Nadia died. She thinks I did it. But I know she threw herself off the bridge."
Can I
And
try to
is-
discern if she's lying or not?
You can make a perception. I mean, she seems genuine. Seems like she's trying to at least save her own hide. And
All right, I can believe that. I'm pretty awesome.
I cast Black Tongue.
okay,
For the duration, I make intellect and will attack rolls with 1 boon against demons, devils, spirits, and undead. So just to double check, after I cast that, I then say, "Tell me, is all of this the truth?"
she says, "Yeah."
Okay, so
I mean,
okay,
as
so
much
I
as
say, well, yeah, she's. I think. Well, I can't tell if she's lying or not, but she's not. If we're wondering how Gash got here, I don't think she's a demon or possessed by a spirit or anything like that. So I don't think she's responsible for it. I think we got to go back to Ma, and I've been telling you, it's been Ma the whole time. We gotta put the fear in her, and we gotta let her know that we're serious about this, and there can't be any more people being murdered.
Okay. I think that's not going to work out well for you, but we can try it.
Oh, I can make her afraid. Trust me.
Gash wants vengeance. He says all roguey.
That's awesome.
she says, I'm pretty sure it's Ma." She says, she has it in for those men. She says she's somehow getting them. Maybe Bran and Lacus are behind it. Those two, you give them alcohol and they'll do anything. She's probably using them to overpower those guys, and I don't know why she's castrating them. Maybe as a demanning them somehow.
So you saw them send someone over the bridge, but you didn't see Ma. There's no proof. You don't have any proof that Ma participated in it.
That's just my thoughts, but no, I don't have no proof, unfortunately. But I did see, Aiden when he went over the bridge. I don't
How
think
about we find those? How about we find Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Why don't we find these two guys and confront them first?
since they're probably hitting the tavern for breakfast by now.
Let's. They got us a drink. Let's get them a drink and see if we can get them to open up with what happened.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. So we head back to the something hamster.
Raging hamster. Yeah, when you get there, you can see that the two of them, they're still covered in dirt. Their boots are all muddy again and everything. Look like they've been working all night, but they're at the main bar eating some eggs, and they got some orange juice in front of them. You can see like one of them's tipping in some whiskey or something into one of the orange juices.
So I walk over with a smile on my face, very ugly smile, and goblin teeth, and I sit down at the bar with them, and I say, "So, fellas, can we buy you drinks?"
Are
Certainly,
you happy to see me?
certainly. Share some breakfast. How you making out on your searches?
Well, we're still looking, but
It's like it was a cell, wasn't it? I seen you heading in there this morning. That
yeah,
bitch has
well,
had it in for us ever since we got here. And you see Bran kind of looking at you, Star. He has like a weird look on his face. Kind of shakes his head and goes back to eating.
So, tell us, why would she have a suspicion? How could she convince people that you? Because if she were to blackmail you to rob graves, it would be because she would have had to seen you, wouldn't she?
Just,
Do something.
we don't rob
how does she have-
graves.
Well, we talked to Ma, and Ma said that you robbed graves and that you are responsible for killing all of these people. But
So
then we talked
That
to
old bitch don't know anything. We didn't kill nobody.
well, somebody has leverage against you because we saw you rob graves last night.
I don't know what you're talking about. He
Well,
just like
we saw
shoves
you
his
with our
mouth
own
full of
eyes.
food. So that wasn't us. It was our brother.
Oh,
It was our
It
brothers.
was definitely you. No, it was definitely you. You're gonna. We think that it would be best for you to confess soon what happened because we're on business from here from Lord Artok Hurian, and if we go to him and say that you're responsible for all of the murders, it's not going to bode well for you. I think you should fess up soon.
You wouldn't do that.
We would because we have a couple witnesses that say that you had murdered.
He says, we didn't murder that young lad. He fell over the bridge. He said it was just a drunken accident.
A drunken accident?
With a rope around his neck?
He says, no, he wasn't hung. He fell over the bridge. We were drinking. It was his party. We were celebrating. We took him out to the bridge to have a few drinks. And Bran here, and he kind of like shoves the guy next to him. He said it was an accident. He bumped into him, and Aiden fell over the bridge. It's Estelle's fault. She said she'd tell everybody if we didn't do her work for her. We didn't have a choice.
So how come we saw you pick up your equipment from Moz, but then drop it off at Estelle's?
We were just storing the stuff out back at her place. My dad had nothing to do with it. He said it was next to Bran's lean-to.
And did you see anything? Were you staying back there? We saw that there are some makeshift living accommodations. Have you guys been living there?
Yeah.
Did you see anything strange around there while living there? Like any body parts or anything?
I didn't see no body parts. Ma
Really?
stare at us often through the window. Had a mad look on her face, but
Because we saw a severed penis over there. You never saw that.
we didn't see anything.
So tell me, who do you think besides the person who you witness fall over the bridge by accident, who do you think killed everybody
Says, well,
that's gone missing?
says, I think it's a cell. She's been out
You
for
think
us
it's
the
a
whole
cell?
time. She says we couldn't do anything about it. We've been doing her work, so we didn't die. She had a thing for Aiden, and when Nadia took her, she got pissed off, and she's headed out for us guys ever since.
Damn it! I knew it.
Says that
Hmm.
said, she's just mad because she's ugly. No guy wants her.
That's not very nice.
Could you testify that in court under magical oath? I bluff.
Says, that's what I believe. I can't prove it, but that's what I believe. And I know it was an accident when Aiden fell.
Okay, well, when we continue with the case, we might have to call on you to go to the Lord's court.
Says, well,
But please keep this hush-hush. Don't go to a cell. Just carry on for now. Don't worry, though. We'll look after her, and she won't be able to blackmail you anymore.
he like downs his entire glass of orange juice and puts it back on the counter, and this time he just fills it up with straight whiskey, no orange juice. Starts drinking that down. He says, you got to do something about a cell. We can't keep doing this. I hate digging up these bodies, and you must believe me, it was an accident with Aiden. I didn't mean for the kid to fall. So that's why he couldn't show up for the wedding, and now I feel like Nadia's my fault, and these men are my fault, and he just like starts sobbing at the bar.
I think we should. This is kind of like weird and circular. We haven't had a really close look at Ma's place, because I just went and confronted her, and she chased me right out. But I didn't have a good look in there. Star, you didn't see anything in there that could act as evidence or anything like that?
She had me very, very on a very tight leash when I was in there.
Hmm.
It was nothing that I saw. She guided me to her kitchen. We talked for a few minutes, and then she guided me right back out of there, so I didn't see much. I'm very sorry. But what I think is that I think that we should go ahead and go over and talk to Ma and give her some information that that maybe we went and talked with Estelle, yada yada, come up with a story that she'll think that we have information against Estelle but used it against her.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we should just play the game the opposite direction. Ma doesn't need to know.
The man at the bar just shakes his head. He's like, I don't think Mom's into this. I mean, she's been really upset with the guys lately, and I know she had it out for Aiden, but says, I think it's all a cell.
That's fine. And I go,
Opinion.
yeah. I mean, thanks for your opinion there. I definitely, I don't know. I mean, you know how this goes there, buddy. Everybody's got to be a suspect. So, all right. Well, you have yourself a good day. I think that we'll, think some more here, and you guys have a good one. All right.
Says, you're going to help us, right?
Yes, we're gonna do what we can. Against this.
It was an accident. I promise it was an accident.
Well, once we find out who killed all these people, you won't be the suspect anymore.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think Gash is just getting more and more frustrated.
Could we use them to help figure out to get Estelle to say something?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how about in any way I can, as long as you can back me up and promise that, me and my buddy here can get a place and just, live our life like we want to.
Has Estelle said anything besides accusing saying that she's going to blackmail you and making you dig up those bodies?
Says no. He says she told us we had to do 10 bodies. We've done 9 so far.
10 bodies.
Were they certain bodies?
Says no. We just grabbed them. And he's like, well, she did have us dig up Nadia, but we don't know what she did with them. Her. But otherwise, we've just been hitting old ones that have been there for years and leaving them out back of her place.
Okay. I think what you're doing is awful, boys. I'm gonna tell you that straight off. But hey, it's not for me to judge, and
It's odd. He's like, I agree, young lady. It's awful, but we don't have a choice. It's this or jail.
Yes, I understand.
Don't want to call the cops.
You should just go down there and kill the bitch, as far as I'm concerned.
Eager.
Let's. I think we can coax her to. Hang on.
Who's that, Estelle? I really think the next move for us has to be that we need to go and talk to Ma, and she kind of gave up Estelle to you, said that we could talk to Estelle and maybe do that tell the truth thing almost with her. You know what I mean? And say what she's saying against her and see if we can get her to spill the beans.
I'm all.
I know how to get her to spill the beans, and I get up from the table and start walking over.
Over to Estelle's? Or Ma's?
Ma.
All right. Yeah, when you get out there, you can see that she's like out front right now, and she's grabbing some different jasmine flowers and stuff from her garden. She kind of looks over her shoulder in your direction when you step out, and she hurries inside and shuts the door.
That bitch.
Have you guys follow me?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, we got to get her outside first. Either that or we have to go in.
Well, it doesn't seem to be anybody that would stop us from, forcing our way in unless her locks are.
Okay.
I could try to open up the door. I am pretty strong.
We could go in through a window.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am a burglar.
And the windows are unlocked.
At least they used
Really
to be.
terrible at throwing knives.
We found that out last time.
All right, I want to. Gash just wants revenge. He's just like, roar! Like he just wants to go get her. He's sick of
Okay.
Played a fool.
Okay. Let's go in through the window.
Well, you got the window that Gash went through into Nadia's room. The Gash barf, or the window Barf went through into the old lady's room. There's a couple windows into like the living room area, which as you walk by and you look, you can see she's like in the living room at a table working on something. Looks like she's sewing up something.
Let's go in the window that for the
That's her
room
bed.
she's in.
Out
Yeah.
back where the
into her bedroom.
Yeah, the window's not locked. Shutters are open and stuff. I mean, you could slide right in without a problem.
Okay. I go in.
Okay.
Yeah, I follow right behind him.
Okay.
and then
Gash.
Gash takes the rear.
All right.
Okay. And then I say to her, wait, we went into the room that she's in?
No, you went into her bedroom, but you could go out the
Okay.
hallway and.
Okay. So then I'm heading towards where she's located.
All right.
I'd like to do that a little stealthy.
I'm not stealthy. I'm heading straight for her.
All right.
Okay.
Star
Okay.
and Gash, what are you guys? Are you following him, or are you be more stealthily, or hiding back?
I'm going to be more stealthy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm just following him. I'm pretty emotional right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
So, and as soon as I catch sight of her,
Yeah, she's kind of. She looks like she's sewing a little pocketbook type thing or something. Is when you're coming down the hall, she looks up and her eyes widen up a bit. She's like, "You again."
and as soon as she sees me, I cast harm.
All right.
Just 1 second. I'm going to reduce one. So one creature I can see within short range. Invisible barbs tear at the target's body. Make an intellect attack roll against the target's strength.
Okay. Let's see. Her strength is going to be 6. So you should most definitely, yeah.
Okay, so that was an 11.
Yeah, it's definite.
Mm-hmm.
The target takes a -5 penalty to health for 1 minute
Okay.
as she feels these barbs tearing through her body.
All right.
And I say to her, "This will not end until you tell us what is happening. Who is responsible for the murders?"
She just kind of like screams in agony for a few. She's like, "I don't know. I don't." She says, "I'd only threw them off the bridge and castrated
Threw who
them.
off the bridge?
The beast brings them to me."
Who is the beast?
Star, you're staying back. You said you were staying back, right?
Yeah, stand back a little bit. Yeah.
So as you're kind of going by, you can see Nadia's room. When you look over, you see like a figure pressed up against the wall in the room.
A figure of like what shape of a figure?
Like a humanoid shape. It's just kind of like in your peripheral vision. When you look over, you can see it slides behind the door, kind of out of sight a little bit. Looked kind of tall, skinny, had like a strange, opaque sort of look to it.
Was it white?
Sort of.
Is it banshee-ish?
All right. I kind of bounce out and I go, "Hey, Barf, I think I might have seen that white thing."
Yeah, when he says, or when Stark comes out, Barf, when you turn around, you can see this tall sort of figure, looks sort of like a mannequin, has a wedding gown on it. Part of it's been torn and bloodied. It has a porcelain mask over it and the long red hair flowing down behind it. And it's coming down the hall right behind Star, like a full speed run.
Oh,
Do I see it yet?
Yes,
Running?
Okay.
It's tangible.
it's
It's not-
tangible.
I'm
Okay.
gonna drop the harm spell, and I'm casting Black Tongue,
Okay.
which gives me I make intellect and will attack rolls with a 1 boon against demons, devils, spirits, and undead.
Okay. Everybody, well, we're going to do basically combat. So,
How close is this thing to me?
just only like 10 feet away. So, would you guys like a fast action or a slow turn? It's, I guess Gash and Star, you guys would be right next to it, only like 10 feet or so. Barf, you're probably maybe 15 feet away. You can see it coming down the hall. The lady, Ma, you let the spell drop.
I let the spell drop
Okay.
from her.
So yeah, as you can see, she's just kind of like gasping for breath at the moment. So yeah, if you guys want fast turns or slow turns.
Is casting a spell fast or slow?
Okay, basically fast is going to be just an action or a move. Slow would be an action and a move.
Okay, then I'm gonna do a fast turn.
Okay.
I'm staying put because I'm like 15 feet away.
So Barf is fast.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to do slow, where I want to move up to it and try to stab it.
Okay. Well, it's running right at you, so I mean,
Oh, so I don't need to run in.
yeah.
All right, I'm just going to try to stab it
All right, and
in the kidney.
Star, are you going to do a fast or slow?
I am going to. I'm going to go fast as well.
All right, so go ahead, guys. Don't matter what order.
Okay.
All right, so you can see that. Where's that thing at? There it is.
So yeah, I'm gonna run right up to it and not be afraid and take a swing at it. It looks like Gash did it before I did.
Sorry. I was clicking.
It's not bad. Go ahead.
Let's see. Its defense. All right, defense is 16. So,
Oh,
Gash, you miss. You kind of tear at this thing. Your knife hits it, but it just like scrapes across it. You can tell like the flesh is hardened right up. It opens it up a little bit, but it doesn't phase it in the least.
I cast harm.
Okay.
So I make an intellect attack roll against its will, but I get 1 boon because I cast a black tongue.
Okay. Its will is 12.
Okay. 1.
14.
10 failed. Oh wait.
Oh, it's verse 12.
Oh,
So
14. Okay, yeah. 10. Okay, 14. Okay. I saw the verse is 10 and read that as 10.
Oh, yeah. There's actually
14, okay.
somewhere further down is your actual. Well, that wouldn't work for that case because it's a different attack, though. So never mind. Like I say, you can put weapons in, but for your spell, it won't matter. What's the damage?
It's a -5 penalty to health.
-5.
Health for 1 minute.
Okay.
So does that take place over time?
I think it's just an instant. The creature's maximum health is now 5 lower.
Drops down 5.
Oh, 5 lower. Okay.
Yeah, for 1 minute.
Alrighty. Star.
And how long are rounds theoretically in this game?
10 seconds.
Is it like it's 10 seconds?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go up and just try to stab it as well. I'm gonna try to use trickery.
Okay. So you get a boom.
if I can. Yep, I get a boon, and then if I do hit it, I get an extra d6. So, let's try. Let me use
trickery
my-
wrong then. Oops. Wouldn't have helped.
Bam, 1 boon.
So I gotta write that down fast.
19. Oh, but I did all of 1 fucking damage.
Alright.
Lovely.
Well, you got another 1d6, don't you?
Oh yeah, so I roll a 1d6. Okay, let me do it.
4. Okay.
So 5 damage total.
All right. So this thing, you see it kind of lashes out. It has humanoid hands, but it seems like a lot stronger than what this thing looks like. You can tell it's a female's body as it gets a little bit closer. It's obviously been taxidermied. You can see like the stitches on the wrists and on some of the arms, and you can see a couple slices down the arms where everything was pulled out. When it gets a little bit closer, you can also see where it's been ripped. The wedding dress thing that it has on has been ripped apart a little bit. You can see where the stomach has also been opened up, and there's just a scar running across the abdomen.
Ugh.
Star, you hit it for 5. Okay, Star, when you hit this thing, it cracks part of the mask, and sort of part of the mask falls off, and underneath it takes like the left side of the mask, and you see a scar running down the left side of its face as well.
And I gasp, and I go, "You didn't!" I yell out.
And yeah, I mean, like the flesh kind of hangs off underneath. I need a will save from everybody with 1 bane.
Awesome sauce.
He'll get 1 insanity on a fail. And let's see what's this thing's attack. All right, barf, and that's a fail, and gash. No, you did good.
Fail.
So barf and star, you guys are frightened for however many rounds your insanity is.
And frighten causes what again?
1 bane.
1 bane. Okay.
And this thing is going to lash out. Star and gash, you guys are right in front of it. So
Wait, now I get 1 more insanity on this?
Yep. Again, 1 insanity, and then whatever that puts you at, that's how many rounds you have frightened for.
And then I can't do anything while I'm frightened?
No, you can do whatever. You just have 1 bane to whatever you do.
Okay.
And this thing is lashing out. Let's see, number of boons, 2.
Oh yeah, and you can't take fast turns.
Ignore. Oh, that didn't work anyway. Okay. There we go. wounds. So it's lashing out at both Star and Gash. Its hands are just like flailing about. This one is going to be for Star,
Mm.
and this one is for Gash.
Oh.
Oh, so that's going to be a hit on both of you, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Damage is 1d6.
Towards Star first,
Six.
right? Because it's
Yep, first one's Star, so 6 damage. The other one is Gash,
awesome.
and 4 for Gash.
1, 2,
Let's see. And then I got to see. And a 5. Okay, so when this thing lashes out, once it draws blood on you, you can see like its face kind of contorts, and it almost has like a demon-y sort of look to it. Be sure you add in your bonus from it being a demon barf, because you can see like its muscles kind of contort a little bit, and like the wedding dress rips around it. The mask that's on its face shatters a little more. And it looks like it's some sort of mix between this mannequin Nadia and some sort of demon thing that's kind of coming out of it. And you can see like once it sees this blood, it's like going crazy.
Wow.
Okay. Is it the next round now?
Yep. So fast. If you are frightened, you have to go slow. So I think.
Okay, I'm frightened, so it's going to be a slow.
And Star is slow and barf. So
And
Gash
I'll
is
go
up to
fast
you.
then. Yeah, I'm gonna do the trickery thing.
Okay. So add a 1d6.
And 1 boon.
Yep.
Damn it.
All right. This thing always goes fast, so Gash and Star, you guys are the ones in front of it, so it's lashing out at you guys.
I'm already bloodied.
So this one is Gash. This one is Star.
Oh, misses.
Oh, is that a 20? No, it's not. Oh, it's a 9. Okay, it's a 19. I'm going to say it does something else on a 20, but... All right, Gash, your damage.
Oh, this might kill me. Oh, yes.
3. At the end of its turn, or at the end of after it hits you guys and it draws some blood, Gash, you can see it kind of turns in your direction. You can see some of its flesh starts knitting up and like healing over.
Are we on to the slow turns now?
Star and Barf.
I'm going to cast a what is it? To do illusion. I'm gonna cast Figment.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a second one of Gash.
Okay.
So a Figment of Gash, standing next to Gash, but closer to the creature.
Okay.
And hopefully it attacks it. And
does Figment do anything else?
It's a silent visual illusion. If I create an illusion of a creature, it moves and behaves in a lifelike manner.
Okay.
So the idea is that it's going to like try to coax it
Okay.
to attack.
Yeah, definitely.
And if it's attacked, or if I cannot see it at the end of the round, the effect ends immediately.
Okay.
And I shout, "Let's get out of here!"
All right. Yep, it'll definitely. Okay. Star.
I would like to.
If you do-
how does it look to me?
What does what look?
How does it look? Yeah, does it look like?
healed itself up a bit.
Yeah, when it
Oh,
drew
it
some.
did heal itself.
It's hard to say if it's actually healing itself or it's just like drawing power from the fact that it's hitting you guys. But this, it looks like there's some sort of like demony sort of creature that's within this mannequin
Yeah. it's trying to
or
work its way
taxidermy
out.
body, really.
Yeah.
Because you are in melee with a Star, if you move away, you cause a triggered action that it could take one against you.
Okay. So just like most any other game.
Yep.
We can see the demon, or we can see. How do we have evidence that there's a demon?
You can just it's almost like a hallucination. It kind of looks like. It doesn't look like it's physical, but you can kind of see like the spiritual embodiment of it, kind of like flashing when it hits people.
Okay.
I think I'd just because I can use that trickery every round.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna try and hit it again,
Go for it.
and then maybe take the move action afterwards.
Okay.
Possibly. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's do it. So swing at it. So now you said I get one, right?
You have one boon, but you have from your trickery, but you have
So-
one bane, so you're just going to be an even roll.
So then there's no reason to put them in then, right?
Right. Just 0-0.
Okay.
You hit for 2. Do your 1d6 extra damage though.
Okay.
And 3.
So for another 5 total. And then so that strike, did it do anything to it?
Oh yeah, it definitely hit it. It's not bleeding or
Okay,
anything because there's no blood in it, but
yeah, I'd like to I don't want to have that.
if you move away now, you're going to trigger an action that it gets free action to get you. You can do withdraw. It's called something else in this. I don't remember offhand, but it would make it so the next turn you can move away without it, but you can only move away without it triggering.
Right. And I can't take that defensive stance because that's an action. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
The withdraw. Yeah, the withdraw thing.
All right.
Whatever. So.
Barf, behind you can hear Ma standing up. When you look over, she's like running at you with this needle that she was using to sew stuff, and she's like, "Do not hurt her!" And she's like reaching at you to try and stab at you.
I cast.
She only takes slow actions, so she'll actually be on the next slow turn. So starting the new turn.
I already. Oh, is this the start of the new
Yep.
turn?
But she
Okay.
She takes an action at the end of the slow because she's old and feeble.
Okay.
So
I'll be. Am I still frightened?
how many insanity do you have?
I have 2.
2. So nope, you're free this round.
So when
Okay.
How many insanity do you
I
have?
have one more.
Okay.
I had 3, so I have one more.
So who's going fast? Let's see.
Well, I'm going
Star's
slow.
going slow.
I think your audio is breaking up, or is it just me?
Who, me?
Everybody sounds okay to me.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay.
Your audio was coming this way too.
Oh, all right.
So let's see. Gash, you can go fast or slow since you're not frightened.
All right.
You can see Ma
I'm just
like
gonna-
rushing at Barf from behind him, and you have this thing right in front of you.
I'm gonna go fast.
Okay.
I'm just gonna reload the page because my audio's messed up.
Okay. If you want to do your roll while he reloads, or cast your spell, or whatever you want to do.
Okay. I cast Hateful Defecation
All right.
on Ma.
What's that one do? Because I don't have the book open right now.
Well, does she have health less than 10?
I believe so. Yeah, she has
Oh,
7.
this is gonna be grisly. Okay. One living creature with a physical body within medium range. Okay. The target's gust, twist, and rumble noisily. If the target's health is 10 or less, it dies instantly. Streams of blood and feces gushing from all of its orifices.
Well, Ma has a grisly demise then, so.
Yeah.
Does she have to
So-
make a kind of save or anything?
Only if she had health higher
Okay,
than 10.
so-
She makes an intellect attack roll against the target's strength.
Nope, she's only hit 7, so.
Yeah.
So you kind of see her like hit the ground, blood and crap coming from all of her orifices. When this happens, you can see this mannequin or whatever. It kind of like shrinks back a little bit, like something's wrong.
Okay. It shrunk back.
Yeah.
Is it
it
like?
physically gets smaller?
No,
it just
it's just
kinda
it's
moved
like
back from where
backing up a little bit.
Is it withdrawing?
Yeah.
Kind of withdrawing. Is it withdrawing out of their range and provoking an attack, or
Not yet, no.
or is it just stopping?
It's just like-
okay.
stopping a little bit,
I was about to say, yeah. Go ahead. Let it move some more.
like it's hesitating.
Okay.
Well, Gash would be the next
Yep.
answer, but if he's, are you there, Chris?
Hello.
I'm guessing not. You might have to reload again, Chris. Well, if you want to make yours star while we wait for him, if Fallout fails.
Yeah. Okay, so then I can do that withdrawal.
Yep.
All right, and then I could.
If you have any sort of ranged attack, you could use that.
Yeah, I have a sling, so let's try that. Which is just the same thing. So I pick up one of the stones that are in my pack, and I get my sling already, and let's see.
Did
what
Gash
happens.
miss that?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Testing.
Did you hear what happened?
No.
It's actually kind of funny.
So Ma went to attack me, and so I casted Hateful Defecation upon her, which is a forbidden magic. And the target's gust twists and rumble noisily, and if the target's health is 10 or less, it dies instantly with streams of blood and feces gushing from all of its orifices. And she had a health of 7, so she's dead. And then now the creature is backing off. It's behaving
Right.
differently now.
It didn't move away from us to evoke an attack of opportunity, but
It's hesitating, basically.
It's definitely, and you can go because you still are fast. So why don't we have him go do your fast action if you're gonna do that?
All right.
You're gonna get 2 banes on top of whatever you might have your trickery, so 3 banes.
Oh.
Or
yeah,
I'm sorry, 3
gonna-
boons. 3 boons.
3 booms.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do that.
I bet you hit it this time. Somehow I missed.
Three boons.
Yep.
Bane.
Boons.
Yeah,
boons.
Bane. The good one.
Okay, yeah.
16 is yep, that's a hit. So 4. You're gonna have an
That is-
additional 1d6 damage
That is with the D6.
on top.
D3 plus
Oh, okay,
D6.
okay. So, all right.
I hit something.
Yeah, this thing has to go slow at the moment. So, Star, you get to go first.
Okay. Like I said, I did my successful move back, and I'm going to shoot it ranged with my sling, which is the same damage. So I must just do it. So I get 3 again, or do I not?
Yeah, you get 3.
I get 3 as well. Okay, because 1 for the. Bam. 3, but I get 1 bane, right?
For your last
Yeah, for my last round of,
Yep.
of scared.
so actually just gonna end up being 2 boons.
I guess I did it the other way. Ooh.
Let's miss. All right.
Wah,
All right. Star moved away, so this thing has to go slow. There's basically just the fake gash and the real gash. So this is the fake gash first, and that just disappears if it hits it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So fake
2 of
gash
me. That must be so awesome.
only has 1 now.
I think it actually just disappears when attacked. Yeah, if it's attacked,
Okay.
it disappears.
So the first one would have hit, but it disappears, and the second one actually hit too. So 3 plus
Dash.
2 damage gash. When this thing hits you again, it falls down to one of its knees. You can see one of the legs of this mannequin kind of decompose. It's just left with like a skeleton part laying there. One of the right-hand side of the body as well decomposes down just to the rib cage and meat, and it kind of drops down like it's losing a lot of energy. This like vision of this demon that's inside this thing kind of flashes a few times, but it looks like it's being sucked down into the ground as it's trying to fight against it.
That's cool.
So round 4, and yeah, everybody can go fast if you want to, or whatever else.
I almost would like to see if this thing gets sucked back in the earth.
I'm gonna go fast.
Okay. So Barf is fast, Star, and Gash.
Fast.
Gash, okay. Star.
Yeah, might as well.
Alright.
Just kind
Yep,
of.
up to you guys what you do. It has to go slow, so you guys all go first regardless.
I'm gonna try to shoot it from distance again.
Go for it. You get 3 boons.
3 boons, nothing this time, right?
Nope.
No banes.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Are you
11.
freaking kidding me?
12.
I have 3 boons on it, and what?
You rolled a
That's
4.
impossible.
Barf and Gash.
Barf.
Roll that freaking
I'm gonna cast Figment again of Gash.
Okay.
A second time.
There's another Gash.
And it's gonna be close again.
Okay. And Gash.
On with barely any.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to,
Yep.
Can I change?
Yeah.
Okay. I cast Disguise on Gash,
Okay.
and I turn him into Maw.
Okay. When you do that, the creature, you can see like the mannequin's head kind of look toward her. You still get that like flashing visual of the demon trying to be sucked down, but you can see that the mannequin itself, or what used to be Nadia, it kind of has like a sense of calm kind of overcomes it, and a smile kind of creeps across the skeletal face. It's partly routed away.
Can I use that moment to back away then, or?
Yeah.
All right. I will back away. I guess that would be a slow action, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Move and then attack?
it's distracted at the moment from that, so if you're as mob, so it's kind of like glaring at you with a smile, sort of, on its deathly face as you back away.
All right, I will do that. I will back away.
All right. You're going fast, so you're just moving. Okay. On its turn, it looks at you, Ma, or I guess Gash, but you can see some more like the other leg of it that kind of rots away to the floor. Part of its face falls off. The rest of the mask shatters on the floor. It kind of crouches down. It falls forward, and it's kind of crawling its way towards you.
Oh, that sucks.
You can see more and more of its
still have-
body starts decaying away.
And I still have the rest of my action, so I could try to stab it or move away.
Well, if you went fast, just moving away would be your action, but it's not making
Okay.
any sort of attack against you. It's just crawling straight towards you. As it does so, like its body's decaying into pieces.
I would like to continue backing up, then,
All right.
if possible.
We don't really need a round now because it's not going to attack Ma, and it seems focused on you. So, do you guys want to do anything? It just continues to decay away as it's crawling across the floor in your direction.
Ask it what it is. That's what I say.
I'm sorry. Is that?
Because
Barf's
Gash.
intimidated for me.
Hmm?
I don't know why.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I
Oh.
can hear everybody, but Barf.
That's
Can't
weird.
hear me.
Well,
Well, I
but,
can
okay,
hear
so
you.
I'll be your in between. He asked you to ask it. He told you to ask it. What it is.
What are you?
It kind of looks like it says something, but no words come out. When it opens its mouth, just more flesh, and its tongue kind of falls on the floor and decays.
Okay. I'm going to back up as well.
So Gash, you're moving all the way. So it's able to
Yeah.
reach you. It kind of reaches out and just kind of like puts its hand on your chest. I mean, it looks like you're Ma to it or whatever. And it kind of like reaches up and it, runs its hand on your face like it's caressing your face, and then it just collapses forward. the dress that it was wearing kind of goes up in flames, and it just leaves a scorch mark on the floor that's in something in the shape of like a demonic ruin. Barf, you quickly recognize it as a vengeance demon ruin.
Vengeance demon rune.
Yep.
Okay.
What's left of the skeletal bit kind of decays onto the floor of the flesh, and what's left of it, all that's left in the end is just some bones that are burnt up, and it's the one main human bone, and then right where the stomach and abdomen is, there's another tiny little humanoid skeleton.
Aww.
Oh, interesting.
Baby.
Outside, somebody starts pounding on the door.
Oh, there's a bloody, disgusting mess in here.
Yeah.
Can we sneak out the back?
Well, we were sent here to solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Now we know who killed. Well, we know who's been bringing people castrated, but now it's down on the ground and disintegrated, and we know who. Ma was involved, but Ma is dead now, and gross mess.
Yes. But we could show the wait. Oh, everything's gone for this thing, right? Like, so there's no remnants of the.
Just the bits and pieces of the skeleton.
Yeah. Ugh. So
And our letter from the Lord, we're official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
no. I'm gonna go open the door because I'm naive.
Right. It's the barkeep, and he's kind of standing there. You can see he's all sweaty and stuff. He's like, I heard the commotion. What's going on? And he kind of looks in there, and then he just like covers his face and turns away. He's like, well, did the demon get her? Did the thing get her? He's like, I saw something through the window.
The demon almost got us. The demon is what killed Ma before Ma was gone. Confessed to us that the demon is the thing that was killing the people, castrating them, and bringing them here. We think the demon was actually there's a vengeance rune that was left behind when the demon disintegrated. And so
you noticed too that the rune that left on the floor is the same one that matches the one that was on her table when she was using that stuff with a bowl and whatnot.
So she did that to her own daughter's corpse? Weird. So it looks like, well, so she lied like right before, because she said that it just happened to bring them to her. But why would Ma cast the vengeance rune but then not understand that that's what brought all of this about?
The barkeep shakes his head. He's like, well, she was, constantly had those gypsies and those other people over here. Maybe she was just dabbling something. She didn't know what she was doing.
Kind of sounds like it.
Got in over her head. He says, I never trusted those gypsy people.
Well, we also do need, what's her name, the seamstress. She's been blackmailing the, what's his name? She's been blackmailing them, accusing them of the murders, saying that she's going to make it public if they didn't perform some bad things for her, and that needs to stop too.
Yeah, you got a really messed up town here, buddy.
He says, Brandon says, so what should we do? He says, I guess we could put Brandon Lackus if you wanted to take him back to the capital, maybe jail them, a cell. He says, you guys are the ones in charge on this lead.
Well, they didn't.
He says,
based on what we saw here, I don't think they did anything wrong. They were just caught up in the middle of it.
So it must be a cell was behind all of this then?
I think Ma
was
who casted. She was casting magic, didn't understand the repercussions, and had and then all of this played out. This demon ended up being called forth.
Says, well, you'll have set something up for a sale. He says, "Is there somebody who could come pick her up?" Or he's like, "You think she should go to jail, or should she?"
No, I think she's all right. I think she can go on making her dresses, and with her lovely mannequins.
She needs to increase her prices so that she can get some real mannequins.
Yes.
He says,
She needs to, keep on doing what she's doing.
so,
I might stay away from her though. She's a little weird.
says, "Yeah, we all know that," but he says, "Well," says, if this demon thing's dead and Mao's behind it, then I assume no more guys will have to worry about their junk, right?"
Yeah.
Yes, I think all the men's junk are okay.
Yeah. Now somebody just has to clean up Ma, and I leave the house because I'm not going to be the one to clean it up.
And I very quickly follow Mr. Happy Thought out of the building.
And
Gash walks by and the town or the barkeep turns around and he goes, "Brandon Lacus."
and I can hear my I get an unsettled look on my face, and it's because unbeknownst to others, my cockroaches have started whispering to me and telling me about how what I had done was so wonderful and I should do it more.
Beautiful. All right, so I think that's good then.
Yay.
That was cool.
Everybody give
was a
yourself
lot of fun.
0.4 of a level. Bar, if you weren't here last time, basically what I'm going to do, because since the games are going to have rotating players, whenever you do a session, you're just going to get 1/4 of a or 0.4 of a level. So right now you have 1.4. Next time you have 1.8. Once you hit that 2.2 is when you level up.
Oh, okay.
That way everybody's kind of on the same scale. Because normally the group itself levels up together, which I can't really do. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that's why I think somebody had a 0.4 next to their name. But
Yeah, I
you-
did. That was
Yeah,
me.
right. So yep, do that. Everybody gets 10 copper shillings.
Oh,
Actually, did we? Oh, we threw that gold back.
Yeah.
You idiot.
You buy so much for 30 gold.
Wait, is that gold still in the room? Yeah, you threw
Back at the
gold.
cells.
And made me give the one back too there. Barf.
I think the book says that like you should try not to avoid giving more than like 1 gold per level.
Mhm.
Oh, man.
I had backups for dealing with that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
So let's see.
man.
Gash, Star, and Barf, you guys are in the town of Echo Hill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm posting. There's a game on the 21st, which is full, I believe, at the moment. But I got 3, maybe 4 or 5 in March, because March is pretty open for me. I'll do like I did for Gash and Star, Barf. Later on, if you get into another game, you'll I'll tell you what the change in time, like they had 1 week between their last session when this one started. So you can kind of make up a story of what your character did in between that week, and then we can kind of, maybe you can earn some money or you can do some studying or whatever the case may be. I'll have like odds and end questions, and I'll start building a session kind of for your character.
Okay.
But I think that's
Yeah,
it.
like-
There's nothing for an end of session for this game, so.
Awesome.
Cool.
So yeah,
Very
I'm all
cool.
good.